Hi Raj, good morning.
Good morning, Sudipta.
All okay? How are things?
Oh, yes, okay. Actually, I had some work in the daytime, so I finished the assignment at 2 p.m. And
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Mm. So any plans today for weekend?
no, no plans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we start with you and let the other people join?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah. Sindhuja is also there. Hi Sindhuja, morning.
So I'll share my screen.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'll start with the presentation.
Yeah.
Mm. So the app I picked is that I want to create something similar to Flipkart.
Hmm.
So the problem statement uh, which I found were there were majorly three problem statements which I want to focus on. First is discovery fatigue and irrelevance. So usually on the Flipkart or any other e-commerce platform, the users are overwhelmed with multiple categories and multiple listings and unable to find any, relevant or personalized items which for any particular user. So
Hmm.
the filters are inadequate and there are excessive promotional options which may be irrelevant to the user.
Hmm.
Uh, and There is low trust in product quality and seller credibility, especially on apps like Meesho or there was one other app, I forgot its name. Uh, so the user when they order, they usually don't get the quality or the picture which is uploaded for an item is not a very high quality.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they don't have trust on the product. So sometimes there are duplicate items which are listed, uh, and last was poor last mile experience and delivery expectations problem. Uh, Users face I mean problem while tracking their orders. Uh, I mean Sometimes the orders are late and sometimes they don't get any timely update where their order is. They have placed it and sometimes they see the same status for multiple times, and for each stage they don't get any expected uh, timeline, like when it will reach there, when it will reach the next milestone, when it will reach the next milestone.
Is this really a problem with Flipkart, or you have imagined few of those things? Because I also have done my Flipkart. Yeah, I agree. Those filter, uh, yeah, too many things. I agree, but that you don't get timely notification and all of those things. Is that a problem really?
I mean, delivery expectation is for tier 2 and tier 3 cities.
Okay, okay, got it.
Mm.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, AI-driven solution, which I was able to find using the tools was uh, first is hyper personalized recommendation system, uh, which is we can I mean collect different data points for a user like their age, their I mean location which they belong to, and uh, maybe there for the clothing section, maybe height and weight as well, so that we can recommend similar items which uh, uh, the people are ordering. I mean, we can cluster that group like whichever people having similar features are ordering those items. So
Hmm.
we can recommend based on that, and
Hmm.
and uh, based on their previous purchases and uh, their previous orders, we can recommend create a hyper personalized recommendation system. Then there is a visual and voice search will be provided, which they can upload images or I mean only search by saying uh, I mean speaking to it. So which is also which will also support multiple languages. They can speak in their local language as well. Like I want to somebody wants to use Hindi or any other local language. Uh, then next is smart filtering and dynamic fasting, where they can I mean the filters which are mostly used by others will be shown on the top, so that
Hmm.
they can use those filters, and some of the filters will include like trending or budget friendly or these options which uh, will appeal to the user.
Hmm.
Then there will be AI curated collections based on the data points we have for the user.
What is a dynamic faceting? If you can let me know a little bit.
Sorry, I forgot what was it.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
so search and later let me know. Okay, go ahead.
sorry. Uh, then for the next problem, which was low trust in product quality and seller credibility, we will implement fake review detection and sentiment engine. I mean, sometimes user, I mean, in the heat of the moment, or sometimes they are very disappointed and they uh, write some comment which is not always true. So
Hmm.
uh, we can, I mean, correct that and data, or I mean, consider these points while uh, in the review, and exclude those outliers while I mean in the reviews section for the users. And AI quality scoring for listing, I mean based on the feedback users has given, we can I mean take feedback from them on certain points like how is the quality, how is the fit, how is the uh, color, and we can then on the listing page we can show that it is high quality, and the color is very much accurate, or which is shown in the image, or the fit is uh, a bit size smaller which is mentioned, or it is a perfect fit, or a size looser, similar things. Then seller trust index, based on the we can also, after the delivery is done, we can take the seller's review, how if the item was original and the packing was good, and things like that.
Hmm.
Sorry, I forgot what was UGC, some GC. Just give me a second.
User generated content. It's UGC means
Okay,
that. And
okay,
dynamic faceting, I read about it. Dynamic faceting is like you put those things as per some geometrical shape based on the way what has been the past behavior of the user. So let's say last time the user bought the groceries along with the daily personal care item, right? So
okay.
this time when they go, they will see the things have been sorted or kind of indexed and also being visualized in that way. So he will find the grocery thing on the top of the geometric. Let's say if you are coming up with a circular.
Mm. Hello. Uh, so I think your voice got dropped. Is anyone able to?
No, not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think there's some network issue on Sudipta's side.
Sorry, I got dropped off. Don't know what happened. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I was saying that I got what it is, the dynamic faceting. Did you hear me, Raj?
Yeah, yeah, heard it. Based on the previous ordering, will show the listings accordingly, right on the
Based
top.
on the past behavior,
Mm.
and they do this dynamic faceting, and this dynamic faceting, as the name is dynamic, every time user history change or the behavior change, the dynamic faceting also change, and this is indexed. So
Mm.
it is easy to search, it is easy to find things. So that's it.
Mm. Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next problem was poor last mile experience and delivery expectations. So AI-backed delivery time prediction based on the uh, for any particular route, what was or any yeah, any particular route, or sit based on the city or location. So what was whatever the delivery time usually is, will optimize the delivery expectation for the user. Uh, Dynamic order route optimization based on the traffic conditions. We will integrate with maybe Google to get that, and based on the uh, traffic, we can it will optimize the route for the user, uh, which the user will be seeing a optimized route for the delivery. Then there is uh, proactive exception handling bots. Suppose the delivery is getting late and might uh, be delivered on time or after time. So we
Hmm.
will send notification to the user, like it is getting delayed due to
Hmm.
certain reason, uh, so that uh, it is better be informed than user uh, checks it and find out it is getting delayed and raises something against it. And the last one is post delivery NPS score triggers. NPS was uh,
Net promoter score.
right, net promoter score. So how was the delivery experience? Was it will get from feedback from the user?
So net promoter score is typically, understand that how would they recommend this experience, and will they recommend this in their family and friends or in their network if they liked it. So it's a scale of 10, 1 to 10, 1 being
Right.
poor and 10 being excellent. And
Right.
if your experience is more than 8, that means it is a likelihood that you will be buying again from the same place. But if your recommendation is below 6, then
Mm.
you are kind of it's like a 50-50 whether you will do it or not. And if it is lesser than 5, that means you have a very bad experience, and more than a positive words, the negative words spread faster than the positive words. So there are chances that the client or your customer may do some damage by talking his bad
Right.
or her bad experience in this about the
Right.
media or in the media or like anywhere else. Yeah.
Mm. Right. So yeah, I forgot to add to it. So we can give discount based on their NPS, I mean score. So if the score is below that 5 or below 5, so we'll give a discount or any discount coupon to users so that they have a, I mean, something good and don't give us a bad review.
That's something very generic. I think you as a PM should inculcate, as I said, the customer first thinking. I'll give you
Mm.
my experience in Amex. I was in US, and yeah, I'm talking about somewhere around 2006, 2007. Okay. And
Okay.
so when I landed in US, I was, getting into Marriott, and the Amex card that the office gave, that didn't work. And it was a sheer, how do I say? First of all, it's a disappointment, frustration, and then I didn't have any cash.
Oh.
Luckily, in US, I had one of my friends. So
Mm.
I messaged him saying that, please, can I borrow, some money from you, and I need to pay. And once I go back, or today night, once I got my net, I will, kind of transfer. So then I did, I called the Amex customer care, and then they say, I'm sorry, after 7 days when I returned, to India, 7 or 14 days, I don't remember. When I returned, I saw in my house, they have sent the Ferrero Rocher. They sent a nice, bouquet, and then they sent some diaries, and they preloaded my card with another 10,000 rupees. You should think something like that. Discount is something very generic, right? So,
Okay.
and then Amex, the CEO has also made a specific handwritten note to me, which was on this, how do I say, very crafted, nice paper. I still have somewhere in my house, might be if I search it well. So that gave me a kind of a memory. Yes, they did everything wrong. At that time, I
Mm.
didn't have any help, but they really understood the pain, and they said that the next time it won't happen, and they kind of, without me asking, and even I didn't say any foul word, but they said it.
Mm.
So you need to. I still remember this story, even though I didn't, next time when I go, that was my learning, that I should also carry other credit card and other things and have a sufficient bank balance. But that was my first US travel, and I didn't imagine this will something happen. So think of those, that memory stays today, 2025, right? So think
Mm.
of
Right.
those kind of stories, right? That people will remember.
Mm. Right.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Uh, so I used the tool, and the business objective is first is market penetration. Uh, Capture a significant share of Indian e-commerce market by targeting diverse customer segments such as bargain hunters, trendsetters, tech-savvy shoppers, and fast fashion enthusiasts. And next objective is brand recognition. Establish the platform as a household name, synonymous with personalized and trend-setting shopping experience, surpassing the brand recall of established customers like Flipkart, Amazon, and Myntra. Revenue growth. achieve a sustainable sustain substantial increase in revenue through strategic pricing, exclusive discounts, and festival promotion, aiming for a 20% year-on-year growth in the first 3 years. Then next is customer retention. Increase customer retention by 30% through the development of hyper-personalized recommendation system that enhances user satisfaction and engagement. Innovation leadership. Lead the market in AI-driven e-commerce solution by continuously experimenting and refining the recommendation engine to provide unmatched shopping personalization. Operational efficiency, streamline operations to reduce cost by 15% while maintaining high quality service delivery, ensuring competitive pricing and superior customer service. Then last is partnership and collaboration. Forge strategic partnerships with fashion brands and technology providers to offer exclusive products and cutting edge features, enhancing the platform's value proposition.
Oh, one question, Raj. So, I know this has come from shorter loop.
Yes,
Right, yeah, I agree. But look, as an AI PM, you should also think, is it really doable? Like, can you really do 20% year-on-year growth? Right, some questions for you.
right.
Uh, what is feasible? Okay, this is where your thinking, human thinking is coming to place. Um, are you really equipped right now to increase the customer retention rate by 30%? uh, or is it a very over realistic goal? You want to take it as 20%, or maybe I don't know, like you need to have some kind of calculation. As a PM you should be able to have those calculation, that why you said 50% and why not 30%. How do you justify your previous, I think, slide 3, right? While you were
Mm.
talking about the solution, if you are telling that the poor credibility is now given by the user genuine reviews, you are telling that you will give them those AI bots will also be there will be proactive route optimization. All those will lead to what kind of retention? You need to think of this, how it is coming to 30%, what has been the assumption, each and everything that you put. You need to ask yourself, how am I going to justify this number? That's very PM oriented thinking, right? PMs are very data savvy people. And because if the numbers, once you have committed, then people will ask that, okay, you have said it but you have not done it. How did you commit to this? That's a PM thinking. AI tool will give you, yes, shorter loop definitely does a good job, there is no doubt in that. But then think of this particular setup where you are coming up with this particular, Blinkit or a Flipkart kind of an app. What is doable, what is achievable? You may achieve 30%, maybe after a year, not right now. You need to think, okay, so this kind of thinking is needed. That is what I try to explain, that when you do things, gather, yes, knowledge. Idea is you gather more inputs, right? AI will help you to think better, but at the same time check for those numbers that you are committing for, and have a back at the back of those numbers. You should have your own judgment or the calculation, how did you arrive at those numbers.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
Sure, sure.
go ahead, yeah.
I'll do one thing. I'll give time in the weekdays and search on these parameters how this I can come up to this number, or
Yeah.
if I couldn't, what could be the strategy to come to
AI
this?
tools like ChatGPT, your Perplexity, your Claude, we were checking yesterday, right? So
Yeah, right.
gather some insights. So AI is always help you to do research, discovery, giving you additional inputs. Now, at the end of the day, what is important or what is relevant for your environment, you need to pick up. So gather insights for that. How it will help in 20% year on year growth. Can you break it down for me?
Right.
Right?
Right. Mm.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
Sure. I'll do that. So next is tools used. So first one is Perplexity, then there is
Hmm.
ChatGPT and there is shuttle loop. So I have created one document with the prompts and the response I have got. So
That's
I'll
yeah,
share that as well.
perfect. Yeah,
And the last is learnings. Uh, so first learning is how to discover problems which can be solved using AI enhancements, or maybe this part is not the problems might not be solvable with the AI enhancement, but I mean problem discovery is one of the things which can be done using these tools. And there are other things as well, like user interviews and surveys. But using AI, we can also discover some of the existing problems in that segment.
correct.
Then there is how we can structure our research regarding different products. Uh, so rather than going haywire and putting things here and there, we can have a structured approach uh, for doing our research uh, on any product. And the last is how to perform a research using different AI tools.
Hmm. So you felt good, right? You learned something, you implemented.
Yes,
Next time,
right.
if you get a project from your office and they say, "Hey,
Mhm.
we are coming up with this product,
Mhm.
come up with this slide," so you know how do you use this different tools. You will match the reference insight. You will use your own thinking into place, and then you will come up with that, right? I would
Right.
also encourage when you next time create your slides,
Mm.
also take the screenshots and put it also
Okay.
in the slides, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So that would be a don't copy paste from that, because then yeah, I understand that you have used that tools or you take the screenshot from ChatGPT and the Perplexity. That is important. Okay. The second point that I want to tell you regarding the presentation, never read from your slide word by word, line by line. I know that
Uh,
it's yeah, I get that. No worries.
right.
As a mentor, as a coach, it's my job to tell you that how to
Mm.
present better. So yeah, go through your slides and then identify some 2 or 3 points that you will use as a storytelling, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
yeah, then you
Actually,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
No, no, it's
Uh,
okay.
so actually, for this slide, I went through the recording and saw you said we can add the business objective from the that tool, but yeah, I couldn't go through all this
Yeah,
points
go
for
through it. Yeah.
right. For the other slides, I have written only pointers, and for this slide, but I couldn't. I mean, go through it, and then so I kept it as it is.
Hmm. That's
So
fine.
I'll
It's
keep this in
early
mind.
presentation also, so it's okay. My job was like I need to tell you what is true, right? So
Right, right. I'll keep this in mind. Sure,
yeah, sure.
definitely.
Okay, great. Raj, thank you so much for presenting and for doing your assignment. Who would be next? Jyotsna, Mahant, Vishnu. Yeah, who wants to go next? Mahant, you go ahead. Yeah, I see that you unmuted.
Um, First of all, apologies, madam. So I couldn't put things back into the presentation format. So I don't have a deck right now, but I've done a research because I did not have an internet access yesterday because I was out of station for some urgency. Sorry about that, but I have done all the researches when I came late night. And without the deck, if you allow me, I can explain.
Yeah, go ahead. And if you just if you have done the research in those AI tools, right? Just show me those screenshots. Means like open, share your screen and just show that this is the kind of research I have done, and that's fine. And then you put together in your PowerPoint.
Yeah, sure, madam. But the research, okay. So
Whatever you have done, I understand it is not fully there, but whatever
yeah,
you have done, yeah.
So let me explain you the problems that I have identified. These are actually a little bit a real problem that I did some research through web and AI tools as well.
Hmm.
The problem that I have identified today, all these e-commerce websites like Flipkart, Amazon, and even Snapdeal for that matter, which I got
Hmm.
some data from the web,
Hmm.
they all have a problem that when a product is being delivered, the people did not accept it, or the person is not available at the home and that product has gone back. So there is a little bit of an overhead for the companies like e-commerce companies, where they delivered also and person didn't like it, especially when it comes to the clothing, shoes and everything. The size does matter. When they actually try it out and they feel that it's either loose or is it little tight, they return it. So they have this overhead because when a person is going to take the delivery, all these costs are very high, especially when the returns happen. So this is one of the major problem that I have identified, and only this problem is what I have just tried to work it upon. Now, next
Got it.
thing, what we can do to solve this problem. Again, it's my thought.
Hmm.
What I come up with is a reward program. So every customer, when they sign up with these e-commerce websites,
Hmm.
so they will all get some points, some rewarding points actually. So every time they buy and the order gets fulfilled and the person receives that product and then he keeps it, I mean, he doesn't return it, he gets some points. We can come up with certain metrics where we can define, depending upon the product, depending upon the value, what is the um, points that they are going to get, credit points basically.
Hmm.
So now whenever the person returns it, there's also a negative credit as well. If the reason that they quote it's not genuine, I do understand that this will have a little bit of a negative impact on the sales or on the brand image. But still, if that reason that they quote, if it is not genuine, we can add a little bit of a negative points or no positive points for that matter, depending upon the impact that it's going to create.
Hmm.
Now, the solution. When I say solution is a reward program, this all is driven by a AI backend. Now, when you say AI, so we will all take into account as to what all things that he has visited, what are his impressions, what is his buying pattern. All these things are all captured into the AI and we keep stored into the database. And whenever he makes an order, we do a personalized recommendations and we provide that product and do the order fulfillment. There is a lot of a data that we collect, apart from the, whatever the consent that we take from the customer and store them. And based on that one, let's say they have done well in the first quarter of the year and they have not done any return, we will also give them some reward in terms of a gift. We say that, okay, you have collected so much of credit points and you are a loyal customer, you are a very, whatever that positive things that we can add, and we say whatever that is lying with us which is not being sold out very quickly in the e-commerce, we can convert them as a gifts and say, give it to these people for so and so credit, or we provide an option for that user and say that these are the options available for you, you can use your credit points to order one of these.
Got it. So, Mohan, tell me, when they are returning, there is a genuine reason. That time they don't get any negative points, right? Because,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
it is only that, sometimes, yeah, people do such things, I know. And
Correct.
so,
So
how do you identify that it is not a genuine thing, and then only you kind of punish or penalize the person? How?
So I'm glad that you asked this question. I was trying to bring this up. So what we do, what we also do is that we use AI tools here and we study their pattern and how often do they return. Now, when I have ordered a certain size, and then we also have some history before that, what other sizes they also ordered for it.
Hmm.
And if that sizes is actually every time they order the same size, we also try to do a little bit of analysis, because what happens, especially in the clothing industry, let's say if it is of a medium size, let's talk about one shirt of a medium size. If there are 4 to 5 brands that you actually talk about, the medium size is not the same for all these 4 or 5 brands. There is a
Hmm.
little bit of a delta, there's a little bit of a
Correct.
um,
Brand to brand, it varies, right?
exactly. So There, if that sounds like, size didn't fit, one point they can make, size didn't fit, though we will do analysis when it comes back. And we say this brand, this size is not exactly the same. So we also try to set up an internal standard within our internal analysis to see what different sizes comes from different, so that the next time they order that particular size which doesn't fit them, we can also recommend that last time you had ordered this and you had returned this, probably you want to make think about it again and reorder so that the size fits well for you.
Or it could be the thing I'm also thinking loud. They are not just buying for themselves, right? They are also buying for their family and friends. If you ask that, are you buying it for yourself, or if you are buying for others, also store that data. Is it a father, mother?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a good point. I mean, well
yeah,
noted that one. Yes. So when they are ordering also from their name, they'll also mention a small, is it for you or for an else? For
yeah,
anyone else, for
yeah.
maybe a family people, a daughter or a parent or something. We'll also keep a track of that data as well if she's ordering it for herself or for somebody else. So it makes it easy for us to either recommend, or we believe that okay, this size fits well, she has bought many and she has not returned it, then we will just simply ship that part.
Correct.
And the next one is the impact. The conversion rates are high, and people feel that they buy. They'll be more conscious to return something which is without any having a genuine reason for returning it.
Hmm.
And also they feel something good about, delighted actually, not good, when they feel like, oh,
Correct.
I've collected 1,000 credit points, now I can get something like that. So that will also encourage them to buy a bit more. And where we can also try to impress them by saying, if you're going to buy another one product of so and so worth within this quarter, then you will get those many points within this quarter, you will claim better benefits. Again,
Hmm.
it's something to reward them.
Reward for, yeah. Nowadays, everyone does, yeah. So
Yes.
every purchase, they get a Bitcoin or a new coin or whatever they
Correct.
say. Yeah. Okay.
And then the last thing is like this, the impact is simply the conversion rate and more customers and more loyalty, and reduce the number of returns, which will actually reduce the expenses or the unnecessary expenses that the e-commerce companies have to bear.
Hmm. Now, what all you have to do is after, don't put a number that how much of return will get reduced. Look at your first 2 months data and then come up with a number that, okay, because of doing this, we see there is a return, based on the average return has been diminished, the rate of return. Then you commit to a number
Yes.
when you present such things. Yeah.
Sure, madam. Noted. I'll also, by lunchtime, I'll also share the presentation through email. And the
Hmm.
last thing, what did I learn from this? Um, so basically using AI tools right now, many tools like Versal, V0 or Cloud and all, there is a
Hmm.
lot that intelligence can be generated and try to be customized to our tool or our Amazon
Correct.
Marketplace to see to it that we use the latest technologies to provide these benefits and stay ahead of the market.
Correct. So here the AI will learn on its own, and it will also, kind of train the data sets. It will also, so you have to keep feeding the data sets also to AI so that it learns, and it is also giving you more better suggestion, refinements in the overall recommendation and things like that.
Correct. That's right. So
Good.
that was the assignment one.
Hmm.
Assignment two. About the cloud, summarize a 10-page report. I understood that the cloud doesn't have, it doesn't get a real-time data, and it is very poor in doing a competitive analysis with the current information that is around the market.
Okay, so then what you should do is there is a tool called Ask PDF. When you open the ChatGPT, the open version, I will show you one minute. The Claude paid version does even the Excel sheet or any other things does it. So we will open this. So here you have something called Ask Your PDF Research Assistant. Go under
Right.
GPT, and there you search, PDF. You will find something. It will throw you the results. Okay, so
Okay.
PDF research. So you will find that it will summarize, your data and all. So the one that I found it is the Ask Your PDF Research Assistant. So when you click on this, so this is a chat and analyze documents, access 400 million plus papers, from where it goes, analyze the PDF, generate the articles or essays based on your PDF. Uh, and of course, you need to, add your human touch to that, but it will give you a kind of an insight. So what I generally use it for my work. So if it has stored, or otherwise, let's say I click on this, then I go to the file that I want to attach. Okay, and so let's say I have this file, right?
I have a quick question. Are you using a free version or is it a paid
It's
version?
a free version. Yeah.
Version. I don't find that Ask PDF in my this thing.
Okay, it's because I have been using it from quite, it's been 2 years. I've been a frequent. Maybe I get something extra. I don't know. Okay,
Okay, okay.
how it does. Yeah, you can. So let's
I'll
say.
explore it, no problem.
So let's say this is the report. It is like more than 10 pages reports, and you add this, and then you ask that attached is the recent spread report on strike. Share the what it means for industry. So it will give you, and this is what exactly what I gave as an assignment.
Understood.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Mahant. Okay, now let me go to the next person. I see Jyotsna and Vishnu. Yeah, go ahead. Any of you who wants to go first?
Hello.
Yeah, Jyotsna, can hear you.
Morning,
Hello.
Sudipta.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, Sudipta, just wanted to tell you I'm very new into the product field. I have not no past experience of product management. So I just tried whatever I could do from Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity. So I'll just take you through and please do let me know, what would be the correct approach going forward.
Sure, no problem. In fact, none of you has the product experience, and that is why this course is for, you guys have experience in other domain. So yeah, definitely. Why not? Yeah. Always go with an open mind. No one is ready, no one is perfect in the world. So that's why we are learning.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is just a moment.
I see a very good similarity. Everybody has picked up e-commerce case. Everywhere. Okay. So is it like an inclination towards e-commerce, or you guys discuss that, okay, I will take this, or how is it like?
No. I have a strong e-commerce domain. I mean, I'm telling you, my reason of choosing e-commerce
Yeah.
is I have a strong e-commerce experience. I'm from last 12 years, I'm only into e-commerce and
Yeah, I
startups.
remember you said that to me. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I have almost idea of customer experiences and pain points. When we talk about the front end and customer support directly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason I chose e-commerce.
Okay. No, good enough. I'm just finding the similarities, so just ask. Go ahead, yeah.
I think we are all like-minded people.
Yeah.
No, and I feel that quick commerce is everywhere around. So I
Correct.
feel everybody understands somewhere or the other they have themselves felt some problems, so it's easy to mitigate themselves.
Yeah, and you have a lot of data points that you can collect in e-commerce. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
easy to understand the customer behavior better than a B2B product. Yeah.
Right. So the tool I used for this is ChatGPT and some Google Insights as well.
Hmm.
And then the problem statement is that high card abandonment rate that we often see. that the customers are coming to the checkout page, but they are not purchasing. This is something which every e-commerce faces, and we have also faced it multiple times. So, and I found this problem statement quite recurring, and so I took this problem statement. So I just got the solutions over ChatGPT only, that AI-driven solutions that ChatGPT provided was the real-time behavioral tracking that we can see. We can track basically using AI that, where the customer is clicking, or we can get some recordings through AI features that where the customer is hovering over, or why he's being disengaged from the platform and not making the final purchases. And we can send, personalized messages, nudges that reminding him of his cart history, or, you know, how to bring him back, basically. And
Correct.
trigger based on dynamic coupon triggers also can be provided, in order to bring him back and retain him. And then we talk about the business impact. The conversions would increase up to 20%. The checkout completion would increase. Customer lifetime would also increase by, giving him personalized approach, and these nudges might, click his mind somewhere that, he has to make this purchase. Then reduce the marketing waste. The customer acquisition cost is relatively high in the e-commerce segment, and then it is really a painful thing that, customer is coming to your website, going towards the end of the cart, and he's not purchasing. So that is needed. And then we need to also look after the NPX and the user experience, to drive more satisfaction. And if we
So
talk,
how will you improve UI UX? What is the metric that you are checking for UI UX?
so in UI UX, basically, what we can do is we can see whether customer is having any problem using the payment gateways. He is not getting, one touch payment options. Like in my past project, in the app itself, we did not gave him, multiple payment options that were running in the market. And that was a relatively bigger reason that we found that why the customer is dropping out, because at that point of time, one tap payment and, Amazon wallet and, other apps were
Options, yeah.
linking of other apps were very much prevailed in the market. So
Correct.
we use this option for, UI to increase the customer engagement by improving the user experience. So we had done. We also identified that, at the checkout page itself, customer is not able to map his or her address using GPS. And as a result, he is putting the address correct, but somehow due to app glitch, the GPS was not working accurately. And the address was, it was showing approximately 500 meters from the original location, which was again making customer disengaged using the platform. And then we started, calling people from abundant cart. I mean, we are taking out data of customers who have, abundant cart, who have left the cart abundant, and understand why did they do it. And then we even were able to convert those customers while we are calling them. And this is how we managed to understand the major pain point. There was a time when, there was an issue with the Razor Pay gateway altogether. And then we somehow identified, and then we have to, it was basically an integration issue with the API, and which led to, huge sale loss. So these are multiple challenges that we faced at that point of time. So that's the reason I found abundant cart problem as an important aspect to show here.
Yeah, just my 2 cents on this slide. When you say that 20% increased conversion, how did you get into the number? right? Just keep that at the back. When people ask that how did you calculate 20%, you should be able to justify that. And the second option, some suggestions when you have improved your user UX, like for example, Amazon, if you now go, you will see that Amazon layout has changed on the Amazon app when you go and shop. Or if you are an Axis Bank user, you will find, or a Kotak Bank user, you will find that Axis Bank has a more appealing, the color palette that they have used, or the way they have oriented the thing so that the customer finds it easy. And the moment you come, there is a product tour that is there, and that keeps happening for the customer because it's a new user experience layout that they have used. They keep doing this at least for next 3 months, so that the customer becomes familiar with the new environment. And other than the product tool, they also ask when the customer is leaving after doing the transaction or whatever it is. They ask that what is your feedback on the new layout. That is what we should also be taken. It's like a 5-star kind of a thing, not a
Yeah.
big thing to write. So other than NPS, if you have to check your UI UX, make the customer familiar with the product tool, and also check that what is your thought on our new UI UX? And don't
Okay.
ask
So
new
what
UI
we
UX.
did was,
Yeah.
got it. What
Hmm.
we did was that we
Hmm.
were doing CSAT surveys on a
Hmm.
daily basis for first time users.
Correct.
So we had put this a question on the survey questionnaire, that
Hmm.
how did you find the website and the app? And then we have
Correct.
given them the options like, did you find user friendly or not? And a certain 4 or 5 pointers we have given the customers, so that to understand if we have any scope of obviously any product always have any scope of improvement, but
Correct.
but we had taken that into consideration while we cover the NPS. And
Hmm.
CSAT, we were doing it as a survey questionnaire as well. While I'll keep a note of this point.
And what has been the response rate of your survey? How many people take it?
So, to be honest, we were doing, call surveys. We were not sending emails because,
Hmm.
emails are like people are lethargic enough to, give surveys
Exactly.
on
Exactly.
emails. It,
Hmm.
it did not give us any result when we started emails. Then we started calling customers. We were doing we were taking random numbers, say 15-30 customers each executive, 15 to 30 customers, and then
Hmm.
approximately we were getting 5 to 10 responses.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
You know what
approximately,
it is? The human mind is out of sight, out of mind. So the
yeah.
moment they are doing that transaction on your web or on the app,
uh,
immediately pop up. Or when they are leaving, immediately, have this one small question, with some emojis, because this is B2C, it also has to be seamless, and it also has to, gather the experience then and there. Later, they may forget and they give you a bad rating. They may, are
yeah,
in a
yeah.
hurry. They are doing some other work. They just want to get escape from that situation, and then they give you some. So it may not be the true rating. So ask when they are doing this
Yeah,
immediately.
emotions were, I mean, those emojis were, getting auto populated on the app page while
Correct.
they were making the purchase. But to make more humanized approach, we were also doing, we were also calling customers to understand their feedback and reviews on the product, as well as on I mean on the app, as
Correct.
well as the products that we were selling through the app. And
Do
then
you
the
do that
percentage.
for all of those customers? That would be humongous activity for a customer support, right? Or you just
Yeah.
pick out some random.
No, no, random numbers, 15,
Okay.
30 numbers, and out of them,
Yeah.
only 10 customers used to receive the call. So what we devised is that we took the feedback from them, and we also offered them, discount for the next purchase
Okay.
to
Okay. Got
retain
it.
customers. So this was
Got
kind of
it.
the
Yeah.
exercise of, basically retention as well as feedback gathering. So we have done,
Got it.
I mean, it was like two things, killing two birds with a stone thing we used.
Mm-hmm.
And and
Yeah.
honestly, we when we offer discount to the customer do come. Either you go for a loyalty programs, and we managed, we even launched loyalty programs and provide membership.
No, that's a good way. Definitely, the loyalty program membership, giving their occasional discount based on their high volume purchase or whatever the you
So
have, you can.
right, and then then the customer who is receiving the call of the executive,
Hmm.
that executive is also sharing his or her direct WhatsApp number, in order to
Hmm.
increase his. That
Correct.
nowadays not every customer wants to place orders, going to the app, and everybody wants more convenience. So
Correct.
we started the feature that whoever customer is receiving somebody's call, we are sending personalized WhatsApp messages in,
Hmm.
so that the customer can directly
Reach
message
out.
the executive. So
Yeah.
although it was a tedious task, but it helped tremendously to understand a customer viewpoint, and then retain more customers.
Correct. Yeah.
So, and then learning, the next slide is learnings. What we got from this understanding is that we should start with small MVPs, and
Correct.
prioritize cleaning, and it's basically more of a AI related thing that I got from Chat GPT. Did search on Google, but yeah, I could
Hmm.
understand very in-depth things. But
Hmm.
other than that, the cross-functional collaboration that I have already discussed, that the pain points were shared
Hmm.
with marketing, and then we have started these loyalty
Hmm.
programs and feedback survey campaigns. And
Hmm.
uh, some kind of over incentivization were to be monitored, that the customers are not using or making misusing the loyalty programs or the consumer benefits that we are providing.
Well,
That's
how will you check for the AI bias?
AI bias. I could not do much because as I said, I searched in Google but did not get much information, so, and neither I
So
could
for that
understand.
also, I think the way the data scientist and you need to sit with the data scientist and like weekly check the new purchase or the new calls that have been done, and
Okay.
to understand the data that you have used, and then the data that has been used for the training, because here these are all label data, right? uh,
Okay.
yeah, this is a supervised learning, right? So because you have already have the purchase has been labeled, you know the customer, you know the tiered cities, you know what time, what are the things that he has purchased or she has purchased,
Mhm.
what has been the score. So everything is labeled data. Now the data that has been used to create the app, and now this new data that you got, identify what was the last the rule of the AI engine or the model that has been written, what was the bias was accepted at that point of time, and look at now again running the new data and what has been the bias for the new data. Identify the delta, if it is remain same, it's fine, but if it has been increased by delta, then identify what could be the reason, and then in some cases human intervention by looking into the manual some of the columns of the data, or looking into some of the key metrics where through which the AI bias has come, do an experiment and see that how this bias can be reduced.
Okay.
Okay, so that is one big thing, and for that AI response team, or I would say AI Tiger team, who had created their documentation has to be clean. How are they used that AI bias? How much bias is acceptable? How did they calculate the bias on the training data? How did they calculate the bias on the test data? And every week, are they performing the rigorous checks? Is the bias remains the same, the bias score,
Mhm.
right? So those things also be taken into account.
So for this, basically for this particular thing, AI bias and over, so do the team would be doing it, or I do have to
You
give
should
the
be
inputs
you,
here,
you
or
should
I
be
should have
helping.
to.
The,
I'm
the,
sorry.
the team should be doing it. It is not exactly the scope of the AIPM, but the AIPM will make a note of these things, that how are we calculating the over incentivization. Okay, these customer, take a random data where the best way to do this is who are the customer who got incentivized this month. let's say.
Okay,
And
so
is this customer always have been incentivized in the last few months also? That could be an similarity identifier. Now, in that case, when the same customer has been incentivized, was there any AI bias previously and for this month? So you need to ask your data science team when they are working on the AI model or building the AI model, they should write that how are they calculating the AI bias? What is the rule they have used? How are they defining the bias? First of all, is it a bias what they are defining? So as a PM, you need to go through those documentation and understand that, having another person's eye or checking this, that what they have done, or so that is why for AI team, documentation is super key. They need to write each and everything, any change in the model now and then, why there is a change in the model, how did they define the data, how much data training data set has have the bias, every time, how are you looking in at your over incentivization, and check, is there a score that is getting changed, is the AI is getting better, ask those questions. As a PM, you should always have a very open mind that why things are happening, are these things all in the right control that should have. So those are the things you should be checking, and ask them if they have not documented. Most of the time they don't document it, it is in their brain. Ask them to
okay,
document it
okay,
and
got it.
send this as a deliverable so that you as an AIPM can check this. Yeah,
Okay,
because it's safeguarding you going forward. If something goes wrong, you are actually, with that documentation, you are actually helping them also and your job also. Yeah.
got it. So actually, just one last point. So what we did it, but not on a AI bias, because mine was basically a startup, so we were not into much technical things.
Hmm.
So this is like we got, I mean, the data of the customer purchases that we have, we used to extract that data and we do the
Hmm.
scrubbing ourselves. We used to see the data, we see the repeat purchases and which customer is, getting highly incentivized and
Hmm.
getting more loyalty points. This we did, but this we did manually. So you want, so in particular, if we talk about AIPM, we have this feature, I mean the team has the feature to do everything using AI. Am I correct?
Let's see, if you have done manually and you know who is the customer who got incentivized, then there is no AI bias, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yes.
because you already know and you have done your due diligence. That case is clean. But then
Yeah,
also, if you are moving from manual, so let's say the manual exercise is taking 2 weeks of time, and now
right.
you invented a AI algorithm that will make your job at least 50% faster, right? So
Okay,
in a week time. So what are those cues, how you have defined the algorithm? That is important, because you should also look for those cases where things can be automated with AI, giving you the quality and also the faster inputs, right?
right,
So
right.
that is why an use case present it and tell that, okay, we are doing it today. We are low in terms of the resources. If we introduce AI, this is what we would be doing, and this is where we would be faster. We the time that is saved, that would be utilized for other project. You are going to initiate the project. You need to have a very detailed approach, end-to-end thinking. This is what generally management looks at. That why should I invest? And of course, when you are investing in AI, you need maybe another resource who will be working. You may require an AI, ML, the data science engineer who will be building that algorithm, right? So there is a cost associated with that. How that cost and building the AI, that also has its own cost. And over the time, how this cost is actually helping you to get the benefit, right? So you need to show that any AI project immediately is not profitable, right? Because there is a good investment that anyone it generally it takes times, it takes few months, a year to get the AI benefit out of those projects. But you still need to invest in AI, because if you are not doing this, you cannot really keep track of this big data, and sometimes human error may be introduced, because the way you are manually doing it, it may happen things. AI can actually predict some of the details which you have not done it manually. So that is why it's good part to use AI, but having that documentation that why this project is necessary, how this will help the organization, how this will help the customer, how are you going to mitigate, get the break even point, by when you expect. So those
Got it.
things you have to do. That is also there for an AIPM. Basically, you
Got
are
it.
working as a business person. AIPM is not just creating the product, taking the initiative and washing their hand. It is not that. AIPM is thinking end to end and thinking also about the business.
Got it. Understood.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Good. Thank you so much, Jyotsna. Now we have Vishnu. Yeah, Vishnu, go ahead.
Every time you are calling my name, I'm just searching for tab because there are a lot of tabs open here. Sorry for that. Yeah. Okay. So again, like from my end also, like Josna said, it might be a very basic slide, but I've tried my level best. So yeah, please let me know if there is any changes or anything that we can do
Sure.
in this. Yeah, let me just share the screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Not yet, Vishnu.
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just a
Just
minute.
click on the share button and then select your all screen. Like on top, you see entire screen. Click on that and then click on the bottom. There is a share blue button is there. I think something
Uh,
is coming with. Yeah, now I see it. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is my vision statement for the application. So my main motive for was like after yesterday's session, I thought of my company because I'm working in a again in an e-commerce company, but it's a little bit different. So we are working. I am working in Uniform Advantage. So we actually mainly deal with healthcare professionals. We provide them with the uniforms, the scrub sets. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so that's what the main business of Uniform Advantage is, that they provide scrub sets to nurses and to the doctors, to all the healthcare professionals in US, in Florida. So that's what our businesses. So my main motive was that to find or to create an AI application that can actually uh, be helpful for the Uniform Advantage. So this is actually my vision statement, to develop a cutting edge P2C AI application tailored for UI brands, healthcare professionals. So the ages is between 25 to 60, and actually we are also trying to like revolutionize and surpassing the the competitions that we have. That there, for example, there is Fix, Janu. Also there is Cherokee. So these are the competitors we have, and we just want to like build an application that can actually help us achieve a more visually stunning and intuitive user interface that can actually help us strategically to grow our user base and in our application. So why Uniform Advantage needs a smart AI powered solution? So we have actually a limited understanding. Actually, we have a limited understanding of who buys why and when, because they are still a little backwards in all this. What can I say, in this technological stuff, because I don't know why, but they have not yet started using the new technologies in UA brands. They are still backing in that. So and there is like no predictive intelligence for better user experience or marketing. So we do not have any kind of information, any kind of any kind of application that gives us like a better understanding of what the experience, what all experiences we are means the users are having in the market and everything. So that's my main motive, is to by creating this AI powered solution. Then again, there should also be we have the competitors again, like Fix and Janu, also Cherokee that I have not written in here. So they also use advanced AI strategies. Actually, I did search yesterday in Google, and they are into AI, and they are technologically very good. Their user interface is also really really good as compared to UA brands. And
Hmm.
then we are also lacking a centralized tool to analyze the customer behavior. Like there is this will definitely help us because we don't know who is buying or who is not. So
Hmm.
this tool might definitely help us, if means after developing the trends, like what's happening, or who is buying, who is like the churn rates and everything. And then yeah, so no interactive questions. So there is no question driven platform. So that is like we do not have a lot of interaction with the with the users again, so we don't know what we lack.
Hmm.
Because of this lack of interactions with the users, we do not know what we lack, and because of which we might be losing a lot of customers. So the AI intelligent platform we designed, so this is the customer. Okay, so customer segmentation and prediction. So we want to segregate the customers based on the age groups, because there might be some age group customers that are still with us, because UA plans is there from past 40 years, and I think old customers might stay with us, but the new customers, the Gen Z customers, might be going for other platforms like yeah, Cherokee, Fix. So we want to understand why people are not buying from us. Then again, the competitor analysis engine, smart recommendation, as we see in Amazon and Flipkart. There are by introducing smart recommendations, like if you buy this club sets with the so you must also try the pants. So
Hmm.
that will be a good thing. Like if we do the smart recommendation thing, yeah. And again, the mobile experience optimizer, as I told you, they are like still lacking in the technological part. We can definitely use the mobile optimizer. So the mobile application experience, the optimize, if we optimize that, definitely the new generation nurses, the doctors, they can, it will definitely be beneficial for us. So and the corporate solution AI dashboard. So I am also an individual contributor in my organization, and I actually don't have an idea what's going on in the company. So it will be a good thing if we have a transparency, an AI dashboard in which we can see in which we can see what all things is going on, and we can like do a predictive analysis based on like other data science people. We can bring in the data analytics and data science professionals, so that will be a little bit helpful for us. And then the content and influencer insights. So this is actually a good thing, because our competitors, they are definitely using the new generation language, as I say, because they are like using this contents. They are what can I say? They are posting contents on social media. They are having interactions with the influencers. As I searched yesterday, I saw that there are some of the nurses, some of the doctors who are influencer. They are like part-time influencer. They also do their nurse job, and then they are also have their own channels and Instagram. They do post Instagram things. So they have a huge following. So if we definitely bring them into, so this is actually not in the this is just an information that I got from by searching AI, by searching ChatGPT and Perplexity. So this might be a little bit more. This can be good, definitely. So just a minute. Okay. So measure.
One question, Vishnu. If you go back
Yes.
to your previous slide,
Mhm.
yeah. So when you are creating the AI intelligence platform, this is for your internal organization use to understand who buy, who doesn't buy, right? Because this is nothing to
Yes.
do to show to your customer. And if it is for internal reason, then the point number 6, content and influencer insights, that is not, it won't come under internal. It will be an A/B experiment when you are creating, using that AI intelligence tool in your app, that B2C app that you have created. That should
Actually, yeah.
help you to, yeah, put the content from an influencer and see if that give you more buy or more engagement with the app.
Got it.
Yeah, so that is not, so just don't mix it. Yeah, that's what one might
No,
do.
I'm really sorry. It's the content and influencer insight. This was actually an idea. I just informed you.
Hmm.
Actually, we will be using an NLP. I think that is in the next. We have it in the next slide. So we will be using NLP for natural language processing for for reading the insights from customers. Okay, let me just go forward. I think I
Yeah, yeah.
deviated from the information. That was just my idea. I was just thinking out loud. Sorry.
No, no,
Okay.
that's fine. Any idea is good. It's just putting the idea in the right place. That's what it kind of striked me. So I just thought I'll ask you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So measurable benefits of the AI solution. It will definitely be high. Means definitely it will go for a higher conversion rates with the tailored mobile experiences. As I told you, the Gen Z by optimizing the our mobile application, it will definitely help us to get a higher conversion rate, because most of the users are nowadays in mobile application, using mobile application instead of web application. Then more relevant products for customer driven design. So as again, like by segmentation and everything, we can understand the products from like the again, like from customer reviews. By running the NLP, natural language processing, we can understand the customer, the products that customer needs, and what are there. Like for example, there is this eco-friendly thing that we can definitely bring, is because that's what the
Hmm.
customers are asking in the comments. So yeah, boost in sales via better bundling and recommendation. So this is again about the recommendations and bundling of so for example, if a user is buying a scrub set, we can definitely go ahead and we can definitely inform them about the eco-friendly new brand that we are launching, or like how they can purchase it, and how it is beneficial uh, for the environment. So yeah, that's that our recommendation. And then improve loyalty and retention through smarter segmentation. Again, like as I told you, our age group is 25 to 60 years or 65 years of age. So by improving the segmentation, by smarter segmentation, by understanding different age groups, we can also improve the loyalty. We can improve the loyalty by providing them good discounts, and through that we can definitely have a good retention rate. Then faster decision with real time and accurate predictions with the data analytics and data science professionals, with the help of this AI, data analytics, we can definitely get a real time and accurate predictions, and revenue growth and better private labeling. So yeah, based on all this AI solution, we will be getting a good revenue growth, and the private label positionings. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I did learn
Private,
about it. Sorry. Yeah.
I think the private level positioning is that knowing their personal behavior, how are they, you want to kind of, label that particular person. So let's say high purchaser, or it's like a frequent buyer. And so that you remember that person in that group. That is what I'm thinking. But yeah, do let me know if it is not.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah, I think I did noted it somewhere. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So these are the core features. I just inserted a little bit more slides. These are the core features and unique selling points for a AI tool for UA brands. So this will be visually stunning and intuitive user interface. So it will definitely be more Gen Z, more friendly, like for the users of this generation. Like the design will be more sleek, and it will be the functionality will be more smoother for the users. And then action oriented buttons. So this is actually taken from shorter flow
yeah,
yesterday. Yeah,
shorter
so
loop.
action
Yeah,
oriented. Yes, sorry, shorter loop, sorry. So yeah, shorter loop. So strategically placed buttons will means that will actually be used by the users, like any desired actions that can be done from the action oriented buttons. Then personalization through AI, leveraging AI to offer personalized recommendation. Again, the recommendations and bundling by using AI. Then comprehensive product range, a wide selection of scrubs and apparel with options for customization. So customization in the sense, we have the embroidery. The users can provide us more inputs on how we can customize through AI. So we can bundle it through AI, and we can uh, definitely go for a uh, customization based on customer reviews. Then seamless multi-channel experience, integration with various channels such as mobile, web, social media. So yeah, using this AI tool, we can optimize our mobile application. Plus, also we can also optimize our web application. That will be a good. Addition, and also the social media platforms, we can like use the social media platforms also through the AI application, like all the posts and everything what we can enter. So that will actually give us a good reach to the customers. Then customer feedback integration. So this is what I was talking about: continuous improvement on the app through user focused interviews and analysis for customer journey data, ensuring the app evolves to meet user needs effectively. So yeah, continuous. So so we will be more customer centric while creating this AI tool. So any feedbacks from customer, definitely we will be taking it into our report, and we will be creating a more customer driven AI tool so that it will be seamless for them to use, which will also again increase the retention. Then geo expansion. So plans to expand into new geographical markets, that will also be a part of the data analytics that we are going to use through AI. We can understand that how we can diverse the customer segments, and we can also broaden the app reach and impact. So how the platform works technically. So supervised learning, predict user behavior, churn conversion, that will be supervised learning, and then unsupervised learning. Customer clustering and segment discovery will be by using the unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning, we will be optimizing the UI and product bundles dynamically by reinforcement, and then NLP and sentiments and analysis. So that's where we will be using an NLP. As I told in the previous slides, we will be using NLP for reading the reviews and social media comments, which will definitely help us to understand more, to get us more closer to our customers. And yeah, what's the next action plan? So phase one is discovery and data collection. We will be connect to existing systems, gather almost 6 to 12 months of data. Phase two, we will be building a MVP AI assistant, and then train models, test predictions, create dashboards, expand and automate, add real-time alerts, natural language queries, personalization, and then launch a working version within 8 to 10 weeks. This might actually change based on the uh, this might actually change based on the situations, but yeah, my goal is to complete it within the 8 to 10 weeks with the collaboration of across the team, like the machine learning department, the data science, the data analytics, and all the other departments. So yeah, this okay. So what I learned: so data needs context to become insight. So always context is important. Even if we are
Hmm.
speaking, context is important. So data needs context to become more insightful. Even if we are inputting a prompt, there should be a good context so that the even the AI should understand, and it will give us a good insight. Then AI is powerful when aligned to business problem. Yeah, definitely we can leverage AI in this new era, and definitely it is more aligned, and if used correctly, it will definitely bring us, like, help us on solving most of the business problems. But again, we should not be uh, dependent mostly on AI. We should also do our own uh, our sorry, just a minute. Yeah. Sorry, there was a distraction here. Okay, yeah. So AI is more powerful when aligned to business problems. Then product design must be adapted based on customer feedback. Again, yeah, this AI tool, definitely by using the AI tool, we can get the best customer feedbacks, and we can work on it. As I told, we are using this AI tool. We are creating this as AI tool based on, I mean, we will be mostly customer centric, and we will be developing this AI tool based on our customer reviews, feedbacks, and data. Unspoken customer needs and relevance through are revealed through AI. Yeah, so that is actually a good thing about AI. We will definitely get more like unspoken customer needs. So the in between the lines, whenever we are having a conversation with AI, we are doing a market research, there might be some unrevealed customer needs that we can definitely get through AI. So that is a beneficial thing by for this AI solution. And then, as an AI PM, my role is to translate tech into strategy. So we are using tech. So my role here will be by using all the tech stacks. Like, for example, I used ChatGPT, I used Perplexity, I used Shorter Loop. So so by using all the stacks, I'm not only using I'm just using the text to create a strategy so that I can create an AI application for Uniform Advantage that can definitely bring us more revenue. We can retain customer, and to create a more customer friendly application that can be used by all age groups. Thank you.
Good,
That's it.
good presentation, good thought, Vishnu. And I think I spotted that you are the first one who had used where what AI model will be used. And um, as an AI PM, for your own company project that you want to pick it up, that's a very good thing, because this is where you are actually applying what you are learning here. So, and even Jyotsna also said that rather than taking any fictitious project, if you can actually, what you are learning, if you can put that in your organization, that gives you, a kind of a better edge, and also positioning you that yes, I am doing this course and I'm also at the same time implementing, so it will also give you a hands-on learning. My only 2 cents, when you have used that business objective, right? So here, after your entire presentation, you need to use in your current app that AI predictive algorithm or the engine that you need to learn. And based on that, you will gather all these details that you have mentioned. Your statement should have been little bit more sharper, saying that, okay, I want to use this particular, what was that? If you can go back, I will just correct you there. You need to take some kind of a number or some kind of a thing. Even your business goals, also the numbers were not there.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, you need to kind of fine tune those numbers. Even when you are talking, taking the data from short term is fine. But when you are using that, what are the minimum product feature? Put that humanized aspect, what it means for your product. So when you say comprehensive product range, scrubs and apparel, that's fine. But will you use only the scrub and apparel, or will you also introduce a new product as well, which is an complementary of scrub and apparel, and it is often needed through AI? You understood that this is also another new arrival of the product is needed, and you want to do an experiment with including that, is actually because the moment you include any new product line, your revenue also, it's getting added to that coming from the new product line. So just a little bit more thinking when you are taking the data from AI. Also, how do you humanize it in your current context? That is one. And if you now go back to your vision statement, so your vision statement, I liked what you said. Very clear cut. You want to develop this app, understood. But what was an ambiguous situation? When I went to your presentation, I understood that yes, internally there is no data. So you need to have a data for your own leader, and that's why you want to create a leadership dashboard. But how the data will come in your own app, the B2CI app, you actually has to implement this AI engine. And that AI engine will also have the dashboard, but the dashboard is not visible to your external world, the customers. The dashboard is only applicable for the admin and other strategic leadership teams, so that they can learn that, okay, all those insights, right? You have mentioned in the next slide, if you go. So yeah, then no, go back to your
Oh,
second.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
here. So you said that because we don't have a limited understanding who buys why and when, you don't have an intelligence. That's why you want to build an AI, oriented app that you are that the customers will use, and you will gather all these insights that you have mentioned in this bullet, right? Now,
Yes.
based on this, when you are creating the dashboard for your leadership team to see that you now have a better understanding who are the most important customer segment, city wise, what is the insights, uh, identifying that how much time they take from finding your product to getting to the checkout section, identifying what is the new trend in your current market, what are the new products, and is your app having those products as an option, which is that, the new arrival, if you have to really compete with others, what is your competitive positioning when compared to other people? Are other people, like you mentioned, Pix and Janu, they use better technology, understood, powered by AI. But what would be, you don't want to be a me too brand like them. Na? You need to have your own distinctive positioning. So there also your Claude or Perplexity and the Chat GPT, if you have not done, do your competitive research and what is their strategy, and therefore what should be your strategy, how will you position this app, right? So that is important one, that I think it was missing in all of your Raj also, Jyotsna also, Mahant, you spoke. So I'm just kind of doing a overall group learning after going through all your presentation, what could have been tightened, right? And you have already mentioned in your vision. So when you are creating the app for these people, by having this vision, what are your goals? You have a goals or objective slide, right? There you need to take those numbers, which is alignment, having the alignment with your vision. Go to your business objective slide. I think the next slide. Go. Okay, I think somewhere I saw your core features. Okay, so after vision, see the shorter look provides all of these, right? The target audience
Yes.
needs, the feature, and also at the right you have business goals. You also need to put the business goals. Very important for you to. I think that slide is missing.
Okay. Yes. Yes. There, that is missing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Would you guys now like to take a quick 10 minutes break? Because I am very bad at giving break. You guys need to remind me. And from morning 7:30 we all started. If you guys want to take a quick 10 minutes break, come back at 9:10 and then we'll start with the new module.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, guys. But I think this was useful, right? You understood and you learned from each other presentation.
Yes.
How we can do things. This is actually a real life, and I would really encourage that you start something in your organization. Start small, but start. I liked also, Vishnu, when you put the roadmap. The first 12 months, the data is very crucial because that will give a very stable foundation to your AI engine, how the data will be trained. It has a better data, then you create the MVP, then you are going to. So I think that is something we have not asked for, but you have done it because you have really thought through it. I liked that you have done some additional thing. So good. Overall liked everyone's presentation, but yeah, these are the things that is standing, out currently. So let's come back at 9:10 and then we get started. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys. Okay, guys, are we all back? It's 9:10 now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am.
good. Mahanti, you there? Who else are there?
Yes.
Jyotsna, you there? Okay.
Yes.
Sindhuja, Raj,
Yes.
Vishnu. Let's wait one quick minute for Vishnu and then we get started, okay? Okay, it's 1 minute past. Let me get started. So we are going to start with the new module because yesterday we spent, I think, doing your assignments and going through today. We already spent some 5 hours. Okay, one thing I wanted to ask you, yesterday I sent some additional resource links. Did you guys go through those resource links? If you have not, I really want you to go through the links. And just a quick recap. So we did the assignments. Review with the students that we completed. So in just a quick recap, what we learned yesterday, we learned the different overall the concept of AI and the ML. We learned how to identify those cases where you can do AI use cases can be used for a PM. We also looked into the market research and the CI aspects. Just give me 1 minute, huh? Just give me a minute. Sorry, I'm back. There was a person who just, rang the bell and I need to open the door. Okay, so we learned the different tools, how to do effective market research. Yes, use AI tool, but also have the questioning ability, how to use, what are the documentation, working collaboratively with the different department, use their language when you have to work as a PM. PM has to be very good in having the vision, the clarity, inspiring people to go along because the PM is the most difficult job because you don't have actually the authority, but you then have lot of things which have been told you to do, but you have not given the formal leadership or authority. The people whom you are working with, the other collaboration or the people the whom you will be the part of the tiger team, they don't report to you. So they are all virtual team. They are all different teams. How do you really show them, inspire them on the vision? How do you clarify at each and every stage? Ensuring the documentation is the main blood of the product management because that's going to save every time there is a change, there is any discussion going on. PM's job is to how do we do it? Now PM can also be seen as an admin. Some people say, but I don't believe that PMs are admins. PMs are definitely making track of all the documentation, but at the same time, PM is the one who is visualizing the product by gathering the both market data, the outside data, and also able to balance with what is the company goal, what is the stakeholders demand, how do I make a better balance in between the both side of it. So this is where the PM's job is difficult but equally inspiring. Okay, and we learned those case studies. We also, did those learning assignments, the practical ways of using it. And then based on that, now we are moving to the next module, which is the strategic part of the leadership. So we will talk about that. Just give me a minute. Um, you guys can see my slide now. I'm moving to the module 2.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so strategic thinking is another key competency the product teams has to build. Okay, just give me, sorry, one more time. Just give me, one quick minute. Okay. So I was telling that this is a very important leadership trait for a PM, whatever the stage you are. But the strategic thing, and that's why I was asking that why did you take this number? What is the judgment behind it? What is the supportive data? Because these are the questions you will often get. Is it your passion project, or is it a really a data backed decision that you have taken? Did you really look at all the aspect, or you are just fulfilling some of your stakeholders' wishes, right? Because this is where the PM jobs is, to balance both the side, and the more you have external data, the more you have done the experiments. This is where you get a confidence to stand, in front of your leadership, stand in front of your customers. Sometimes even customers also will ask you when you have launch the product, and they say, you say that okay, these are the enhancements we have done. Some of the customers will ask, we have also given you this feedback, why this feedback has not been taken? So you should be able to tell that the most number of feedback that has come from these areas, so we have prioritized this in this quarter or this particular month, and then able to give them that roadmap, the release notes when it has been given. You should clarify on your website that why these release notes, right? How many cases you have occurred this feedback, or you have received this feedback, how many cases this has occurred with the different interactions with your other interface team like sales, marketing, support, and then you have collated through CRM, which is AI powered, and based on that you got that these are the recurring problems, and that's why this is the way you have prioritized. So strategic thinking and able to pursue your other collaborative people, that is what is the most important aspect of a PM's job. Now let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I gave some of these examples, but if it is really important, that as Vishnu also showed in the slide, that your vision and the data and the company's overall outcome that they are really looking out, and your customer. So these three things, right, that you have. One is customer, inside you have stakeholders, and then your own vision, understanding the current market technology trends, the consumer behavior is changing, what are your competitors is doing, and therefore what is the intuition that you have, and how are you giving birth to a product, how are you conceptualizing to an end-to-end. So this is where the PM shows the strategic thinking. That's very, very important. So you are not just because you are today the CEO says that I want to do this, or your manager immediately says that we have to prioritize this feature over the other feature. Often we don't ask questions that why this feature over other, what are the insights that you have. It's a very nice way to have that conversation within your organization, that while I understand and I fully respect what are you coming from, could you also provide some of the data that why this feature needs to be prioritized. This is where it shows that your ability to deeply understand when someone says the why part of it, and you are not just executing someone's order, you are actually living and breathing through the vision that the company has, doing a perfect balance, right, between your thinking, customers thinking, and the stakeholders thinking. When you are the hero, the product does well, you don't get a credit. Let me tell you that the credit goes to the sales, or the credit goes to the leadership, uh, but the PM doesn't get the credit. This is a very, very practical fact. But when the product goes wrong, the launch is a failure, it is the PM who needs to be, people generally look at you and say that, oh, you have not done these things. So why to wait for such opportunities, right? If I am strategic right from the beginning, and I have given all the data, even though you have not asked for all the documentation, everything has been put on the SharePoint or on the Google Drive based on whatever you are using, and you are being proactive. So this is where people take you seriously. Oh, okay, if he or she has said that, then I better do this, because actually he or she is not how do I say, it is not an authoritative leadership, it is a collaborative leadership. You are actually helping others also to do their job better, right? So when you talk to the AI or the ML people, asking them to those document the type of the algorithm, the test data, how the test data looks like, how the training data looks like, what kind of validation mechanism you have taken into place. The more you write and clarify things, people will be willing to working with you rather than keeping things, assumed, keeping things on the fly. We will figure it out as we go. No, these are not the good answer. So be prepared at every situation with whatever the deep analysis, deep research you can do. So PM has to do a lot of thinking. That is what I mean. And everything that you do, it has to be tied with the goal. And these goals are coming from the company goal, then getting cascaded to your department goals, sub-department goals, and finally your goal. If you are managing a team of small, teams of PMs, then these OKRs will also be part of all the OKRs. What is OKR? OKR is the objective, key, and result. We will learn how to do this in the different tools that we will go through. So objective is the company objective, and how the company comes across the objective. Company looks into all those external and the internal factors, and the customer feedback definitely plays, but also the stakeholders interest, overall their last year revenue, their overall product expansion, geo expansion, their financial health, their competitiveness in the market. You take care of everything, and then finally the company comes up with this objective. And nowadays, Vishnu also said that ESG, sustainability, is very important, right? So this is also one of the important objectives every company has. So your objective, that is the bigger one, and then you put that if you are following the sprint, your objective for that sprint should show that. Then under the objective, what are the key results that you are using, that how you will prove this objective is successful, or how do you really ensure that you are working towards the objective? What are the measurable metrics? So this is where you say, so let's say first month I will reach out to 20 customers and do a user group study. Based on this, I will identify the top 2 parameters that we should do experiments. So you have clarified in the next 15 days of your sprint, you will be reaching out to 20 customers. You will complete the user research interview. Why this user research interview is important? Because your objective is being customer first, let's say, or improve your customer experience. Okay, so that means in your department, this is the first thing you will do. Now, what are the key results that you are expecting? As you said, that, based on these 2, I will identify what are the findings, what are the learnings, and based on that, I'll take any 2 things on which I can start doing my experiment. So let's say some customer says, and I think many of you have told that on the website, if we move some of the buttons, or if we better place the buttons with the right colors, or we instead of putting so many discount offers where the customer feels overwhelmed, right? Raj was mentioning, if we can actually kind of give them a very minimalistic window and only showing the relevant offer that matters to them, then my sales will increase, my customer experience will. And this is an assumption, this is an hypothesis. You have to do an experiment to further prove or disprove, not to prove that this particular hypothesis is correct, right? So this is why we need to have these OKRs. Definitely, this is also a current. Let's say some of you said that, okay, AI is today's trend, my competitors are using, why not I am using? So I'm going to create an AI based API, right? So this is where you are translating the market insights into the action. And then the third point is, PM alone cannot do everything. You need the team going with. How do you ensure entire team is moving forward? They are in alignment with you. That is why PM has to have that why part first, and then what it is, how, and all those things. You need to give them this right reasoning, and that is why your strategic thinking has to be very solid. Now, moving to the next one. There is a wait. My slides are not working. Guys, can you hear me? I see my slides are frozen. Okay.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, perfect. So in order to do the strategic thinking, the first thing first, discovery of the product is very important. And when you are saying discovery, in the discovery principle, we use a very popular method called design thinking. You might have heard it, you might have used it knowingly or unknowingly. Today we are going to take a deep dive, and I will also show that how do you do the design thinking. So this is one of the quotes that I often use, that any idea, coming up with an idea is good, but what is the data between your idea, right? How do you ensure that I have 10 ideas, but which is the one that I need to prioritize? So coming up with the right one takes real good work, and that is why I keep asking that why did you do this, what are your thinking process, how did you arrive to it? Because these are the questions that leaders will often ask you, and you should feel comfortable in your skin, very fluidly to communicate that why did you do that. Then with the design thinking, you actually first you do, how do I say this? It's like you converge later, but before that, you go out. So you discover, it's like a light. When you put a light or a torch, you see the rays are coming out. So you can think of as many as ideas, as many as avenues when you are thinking something. Don't restrict yourself. But then when you got all those ideas, you need to now define. So this is where converging is happening. Those light rays are converging and coming to a point. If you think that remember that prism theory that we all read during our science classes when we are in the school. So this is exactly what happens, right? The light goes all the direction, light goes, and then it goes through the prism. So that is the time it is converging. So your ideas are then getting converged based on the problem that you have defined. And this is where design thinking is not your ego, your opinion, your belief. Design thinking is go broad as much as you possible. Take all the consideration, how stupid, how silly it looks like. Gather all the ideas that you have. You can do a brainstorming session. You can do different methods which we'll learn. There are scamper techniques. Then there are the double diamond that we will be actually learning what is the design thinking. And then start from scratch. This is what one is, take all the kinds of possibilities. So 4 things are important. Idea is good, but the right one is the key. Throw yourself and think as broad as it. Don't have your ego or don't have someone has told me to do. It's not a wish list. It is like take all the possibilities and start with the scratch. Now, next one is that I am getting my slides are getting frozen. Wait a minute. Let me stop sharing and share it again. Okay, it's not moving again. Okay, you know what? I will use my in the editing mode and I'll start sharing because don't know why it is getting. Okay. So I hope you guys can see my screen, right? So what is design thinking? I will give you this also. This is where the famous design house who actually popularized this design thinking, and I'll put it on the chat. Okay, I think Mahant, you have asked me some question. I don't see this bit.
No, madam, not a question. I was just
Oh.
talking about the product. So I said, like, probably you can treat a PM as CEO of the product.
Yeah, exactly. Very rightly said. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So read this, but I'll tell you a little bit about design thinking so that you understand. Because for everything that we learn and remember things when we have the story, right? Uh, so design thinking came into picture during 1960s and 70s. There was a person, Simon, I forgot his full name. So without taking that name, design thinking, he started thinking outside in, ensuring what are the customer problems, how do I really look at it, how do I really summarize it, how do I really, making it really important for the organization so that I find a common pattern to bridge customer problem to an innovative idea or an innovative product. So this is where he started. And then in 2000, from 1960 to 2000, actually design thinking got more momentum. In the Harvard article, there was a particular, the article that was written about design thinking. And that was in somewhere around 2000, 2018, if I'm not wrong. So no, not 2018, it was even before. In 2000, it became a practice, or I would say the coining the term design thinking that was used. And then IDE, or how do I say this, IDO, this is a specific design firm who popularized the Harvard's article, and they actually moved that article from only to Harvard related audience to all the UI UX designers who needs to know this design thinking. And that is why it became accessible today, not just to the UI UX, but also to anyone who, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a product person, whether you are a graphics person, whether you are a sales or marketing person, for any problem that you come across in your daily life, you can apply design thinking, right? So think of you in your the area, that the social, the vicinity where you are there. Instead of the road, people are also telling that let's have the metro line. Now, is it really feasible to have the metro line near your area? Do you have the space? You can actually apply design thinking and come up with that. Is it a feasible, not feasible, doable, not a very stupid idea, realistic idea? If it is realistic, how do we do this? So this is where you can use design thinking. Similarly, let's say there is a lake, and someone wants to kind of close the lake with the mud and all of these soils and everything, and they want to create a high rise, the buildings, which is a very common case in Bangalore. But then, is it the right realistic way of doing things? Again, put design thinking into it. So any real problem, anything that we are urbanism, thinking of rural improvement. We have thought of this what you call the national quantum mission, where we are creating the quantum computer, and all of this quantum communication in Operation Sindoor. We saw the lot of new technologies were used. We everything started with design thinking. We started coining that how do we understand the current the trends, what are the competitive tools, what are the new things that is there, how can India make their own thing, not to take any of these particles or the materials or the supply, your raw materials, not to take it from any other country, but do it here. So everything started with design thinking. If you really go deeper, you will understand that we are knowingly or unknowingly using design thinking. And then the second part of the design thinking is that it is a user centric. Customer comes first, and it is an open book. I told you also, right, that we are all building the product, we are all work in the progress. It is never frozen. Your vision statement, you come tomorrow or after 2 months, you again refine the vision statement. Based on that, you may do again your new segments, your needs, maybe some more new ideas in identifying some of the features which are agile. So it is always an iteration based on the customer problem that you are solving. And it is actually inculcating your strategic thinking, your innovative thinking, understanding the customer needs at the center. So if you see this particular thing, let me make it bigger. So it starts with the problem. Whose problem? Customer problem. Now, if I have to understand the problem bigger, then what I have to do? I have to start with the research. I also have to gather some inspiration. I also may have some historical data from my organization. I need to also, talk deeply to that customer so that I understand the problem exactly. And so what you are doing, you are actually diverging, right? You are making yourself, because you are in the problem discovery phase, correct? So you are doing all the research, doing user interviews, you're gathering all the data, blah, blah. Okay. Now, based on all of these ideas, you are actually going to define what is the problem. And this is where you are then converging to identify the actual problem statement. So what you are doing here, you are coming, and based on all this inspiration, you have actually taken all your the brainstorming thinking, maybe all of these that you have taken. So on the left hand side, you are actually doing the diverge, And then here you are converging, you identify the problem statement. Now, based on the problem statement, again, you are identifying the solution, that in order to achieve this particular problem to be resolved, what are the ideas that I can look at? So again, you are diverging, right? So this is why here you used a diamond. I will show you in the next slide what I mean by double diamond. And when you have identified the problem, you are again diverging by identifying what are the different solutions that is there to solve this problem. Now, when you list out those ideas and list out the solution, you are doing brainstorming, you are gathering, a lot of research, talking to your stakeholders, talking to again customers. Maybe customer will have a solution or not, but customer definitely has a problem. It's up to you. You identify what are the different solutions that is possible. Now, out of all these solutions, you need to experiment it. So this is where you are doing your evaluation. You are doing experiments on that particular idea. Based on the experiments, the data backed information that you have, based on this, you are then identifying out of all 10 ideas, I will choose first, these 2 ideas for my current sprint to create based on the experiments. I have already identified these 2 ideas, and then I'm going to create an MVP, or, the very, very agile way of creating the prototype. So experimentation is another important part of design thinking. First, you go broad and then you go narrow to identify your problem statement from all the problems that you have heard. And then from there, again, you go broad, identify and list the solution. And then through the experimentation, you again go narrow and identify which are the top 2 ideas you will be focusing upon. So this is why design thinking is collaborative. It is problem based on the customer's problem, real life problem. It is iterative, and it is solution focused. Okay, so this is why these are the very important words you need to remember. So you always need to ensure customer first. You need to ensure that how I am going to identify the problem and then solve the problem on the other side of it. What is the key metric associated with your design thinking? Customer satisfaction increase, loyalty increase. Jyotsna talked about, right? Raj also talked about, correct? And even Mahant also talked about that. I will have the better loyalty, and I will come up with those points and things like that. So this is very important. And at the center of it, it is not just your customer. Based on the problem that you have solved, how are you minimalizing your user experience? So better, minimalistic, but very impactful UI and the UX. And this is where UI UX designers jobs comes very important. They should also be part of the user research interviews. They need to create a prototype and ask customers that can you go with the product and see how you can identify things. And they then observe what are the steps the customer has identified. If something is not visible, they identify how the way customer is looking. So it is just, you can do it in person, you can also do it online, and you give the system to customers, the prospects or the customers, and then you see how they are using the tools. Is it the desired set of action? Is it the undesired set of action? And therefore, what is my UI UX needs to be changed too. So that is about it. Now I'll give you a specific examples. You might be knowing everything here, but how did Airbnb start, and how did they use design thinking in their entire process? So that the 2 people, right, they were actually doing in their college, and they wanted to start with so there was an event that was going on in CA. Yeah. And because of the event, people have booked already all the hotels, and many people who booked at the last minute, they didn't get the hotel. So these 2 boys, while they were studying in the college, they thought that, okay, we will be renting the mattress, and we will be renting, them the place where we'll be giving the mattress, and we'll also give them the breakfast. So this is how BNB started. And they also slashed the price because they are not able to give you a full hotel kind of atmosphere. But the people who were not getting a place, to stay at night and to attend the event for few days. At least they got a shelter, they got their basic needs fulfilled, place to sleep, filling their desire, that is their the basic desire of eating food, and so they gave that. So if you see here, how did it happen? So this is the host, those two boys, and they are the visitor who comes here, right? Now, this is what the picture that I have given here is. It is little bit later when they created the app. First, this is how they started, and then when they see that people have really liked it and they become profitable by doing so, and then there was a very turning point in their life that again they see that the overall business revenue starts falling. So when they start, they got good response, and that's why they thought of let it bigger, and then they put their listing. Airbnb looked into all those US popular places where they can list these kind of services, and they started listing. People got to know them and people were using it. But one fine day, they also identified their revenues are falling, and they didn't have any clue. So this is the problem. Their revenues are falling. And what is that they do? They applied design thinking into practice. So they meet all those people who had started giving them the bad the reviews, and when they go and meet they find that the people who started giving bad rating, first of all they don't get to see the clear picture of the room, because here Airbnb started also looking into those people who are having extra, they have their house and they want to rent out their extra rooms, which will give the visitor a home like feeling. They will it's like a home away from home, and at the same time all the basic things that would be fulfilled, right? So they, and here those people who were actually accommodating the guest or the visitor for such requirements when the visitors are coming from other cities, the visitors also gave bad rating, and also hosts were also seeing there is a less number of profits, that is, or the less revenue that is happening. And then these brothers, these Airbnb, the two boys, then they started identifying, talking to both the host and also to the visitor. So what happened here, the host, when they go and see, they see that in that app that they have created, where visitor can go and find the room based on the places they are going, and they see the reviews are like this. I don't get a clear picture of the place. How do I really decide, is this the place good for me? uh, so specifically the host, the photos that they are giving for their rooms, those were not clear. That's the first thing that they identify. Second thing is, not necessarily every host is asking for the review. So you don't know, for other people who are only going through the app and they are booking based on the reviews, if there is no review, they will not book it, right? So that was the second problem they identified. And then sometimes there are differential charges, what generally BNB Airbnb has in a city, what is the standard price. Some hosts were asking or demanding higher prices, but in order to the price if you mapped with the value, right, the value that the visitor was getting, it is not enough. So all these reasons, so they get it. And what did these brothers do? They started, as I told, they interviewed host, they interviewed the visitors, because they need to understand both sides of the problem. So now they understood, this is where they use the design thinking, and then based on that, these were the solution that they first, they took their own camera, going to all their hosts house, taking the clear picture, started putting it on the app, ensuring the review mechanism is mandatory from the visitor side. Visitors can also do their UGC, that is a user generated content. They can take the picture of the house while they're, when they're entering, how neat, what they really like. They can be putting their review, but also they can actually post those pictures. So they started doing all this, and over the after doing this, they saw the sales started increasing. So this is where they use design thinking, and this is how, if you now remembered the context and now look into this diagram, what is happening is, so through the Airbnb, host is registering their houses, right? And they are also mentioning what is the rent per night, what is the commission that, their preference of the commission. And of course, Airbnb has to approve that. So host also has an access to app and the visitor also has an access to app. And what the other side visitor is doing, looking for the right room based on the listed host properties. And they are also providing that this is my budget, this is the fee, within this I'm looking for, this is the kind of, the I am low on my budget or whatever. And then based on that, both side, they see that whatever is the match available in Airbnb, and then they book it. Once they have booked it, host gives them the room. And once the visitor has used the room, they provide the review while they're living. So this is what was the minimal prototype that they used. I will take a pause here and understand that if you guys are with me, if there are any questions so far.
No, ma'am, actually.
Okay. So now let me go to the next one.
Ma'am, one question I
Yeah.
have.
Go ahead. Yes.
So what is the starting point of the design thinking and where does
I'm
it end
coming
up
there.
with?
Yeah, I'm coming there to the next slide. Just give me a, yeah. So let me tell you also how design thinking is tied to your business goal or the objective. And these are some of the metrics people generally relate as an outcome to design thinking. So the first thing is definitely the efficiency. Efficiency means that how innovatively you have thought through all your options when you have designed a solution or when you have identified the problems, and being more efficient in collecting the problem and also collecting the solution. And this is what you see, that 69% of the firms who had done this, they feel they are more efficient compared to those who hasn't done it. And this is something coming from the Adobe as well. So this is what Adobe has stated based on their survey. Customer satisfaction, typically, because if you are focusing on the customer problem, customer is at the center, then based on that, your satisfaction should increase. And that's why those review mechanism will help you to measure that. Market share, definitely, if your customers are happy, seeing those customers happy, other set of customers join, and then it's just a ripple effect. So you will definitely see increase in market share over the, some points of your time, maybe the months or, the year or something like that. You can also take that as a metric. Skill demand, many people say they are doing design thinking, but actually in true sense, very less people are doing design thinking. So between 2015 to 2018, as I said, that 2000 is the time when it got actually the momentum. And 2018 there was an article, and then this IDEO, they are the ones who actually took that article from Harvard to popularize it with the other than the UI UX and other than the Harvard community, so that it is accessible, because it is not the UI UX problem, it's everyone's should think design thinking, do design thinking. So this is where we see that the skills grew, because that was the time it got more popularity, right? So as I said, managers, your professor, your any students, business entrepreneur, anyone, any business leader can do this. Okay. And before I go there, return on investment is also another thing that when S&P, Standard and Poor, they generally keep track of all the top companies of the world, and their top 500 companies, S&P 500 index. When we compare the companies who are following the design thinking, and when we compare that with the S&P 500, we have seen that the design centric companies have actually outperformed those top 500 S&P companies. And it is not just double digit, it is a 3-digit growth, 211%. So, and this is also has been proven that every dollar spent on UI UX gives you return between $2 to $100 in return. So this is where, and these are the statistics a product manager must show. If you don't have a data, please go with this kind of statistics so that you inspire people to take up design thinking into practice. Now, this is where I'm saying that where it starts, right? The design thinking uses this double diamond approach, and this has been come by the design council, and also that IDEO that they are the design house, who has also come up with that. It has 5 steps. First, think about the customer, empathy, understand the actual customer problems. What are their needs, right? What kind of experiences they have gone through. If you can talk in person, that's the best thing. Sometimes you are not able to talk because of the region, and you also have a time crunch. So what you do is you do a virtual meeting, or you are doing a survey, you do an online panel, you do online user focus group discussion. You can do different things. So empathy is first thing. Think from the customer side. And that is why when I said that customer first thinking is key, you are not just thinking customer first. You are also allowing the other departments also to think customer first, meaning bring the developer guy with you, bringing the head of engineering with you, who has only metrics like how many sprints, how many features, how many solutions, how many service ticket. But these are all internal parameters. They are not thinking customer way. So bring them when you are going out for those interviews. Ask them to be there when you are doing the online interviews. Understand the customer mindset. That's very important. Second thing, how when you are empathizing, you go broad on the problem. So this is where you start. This is the start. Problem. You go broad, identify the problem. You are researching, you are discovering. So you are diverging. Now, these gives you enough insights that what are the reasons or the root cause of the problems, right? The more you talk and get a very uniform set. So if your customer is spread horizon, I would say geographically, or within the city, there are different types of customer segments. Please have a very uniform set. Everywhere you give the same weightage, the 20% from each set I will talk, right? To get the idea or get the what is the exact problem, go discover the problem. So this is where we call discovery, problem discovery. You are discovering your problem, and in through that discovery, you are also doing your product discovery. So once you do this, you go broad, and now that you have identified this is the tip point of the diamond, the first diamond, where you are actually have collected all the problems, right? You have discovered. Now from this point, you are now converging. Go narrow down and identify which is the main problem associated with the actual problem statement. How do you define the problem statement? So the input of the first diamond is the problem. Output of the first diamond is the problem statement that you define. And if you break the diamond or cut the first diamond in 2 pieces, first section is discovered, second section is you are going narrow and defining your problem. So you are exploring the right problem. Remember, there was the quote I told that coming up with an idea is easy, but coming up with the right idea is not easy. It takes time. So you scope down and you identify the problem statement, right? Now, again, the second diamond is starting. What was the first thing on the first section? Design the right thing. You may get 100 problems, but how will you know what is the right problem? So this is where you got the right problem. So the first diamond is helping you to design the right thing. Now that you have identified the right problem, what are the avenues or the solutions to actually solve that problem? Again, you go broad and you identify all the solutions. So you go through, maybe some 10, 20 solutions, ideas you have. You do brainstorming, you do, Ishikawa, you do, mind mapping, you do different techniques. We will learn in the next few slides from now. But my only objective here that when I have identified the problem, right, I should also design the right solution. So for that, I need to list out all the solutions that is available. So again, second diamond, first part is you go broad, identify all the solution. Then you, based on those solutions, you pick up the right solution based on doing the experiment. So this is where between the developing and the delivering part of the second diamond, you have the evaluation that is coming. Those are nothing but experiment. It's a very, very important part of a AI PM or any PM. And then Based on those experiments, you have the data. Some experiments got nullified, means not proven. Some experiments got proven. Some experiments has not been proven. And then based on that, whatever the experiments have proven, you then do a small prototype or use only those two solutions or the ideas, and then you build your prototype. So for my second diamond, my input is the problem statement and my output is the building the right solution using the right experiments, or after doing all the experiments, you are building the right solution or creating the prototype. So solution that will work. Now, where the customer coming in the second diamond, how are you running the experiments? You are going back to the same customer and saying that, hey, you told me these problems. I have identified all the problems talking to these, and customers also love data. When you talk about data and say that I interviewed 2000 people, out of these I understood these are the common problems and I have put this into cluster, and this is the analysis, and this is where we identify this is the main problem. And based on this, I have identified 10 solutions. Out of the 10 solutions, we have done 5 experiments. Out of those 5 experiments, 2 are valid. And that's why we have chosen these 2 solutions. Now I'm coming back to you. You have given us this feedback and this is what we are building. Will you be trying when I am creating my product? Can I gather your feedback as I go along? I want you to be included in the experiments that, when I have done that time also I have done the experiment, that time also I have taken the feedback, and after the experiments, when the 2 solution that I am taking, you also communicate that to your customers that these are the 2 solutions. So everywhere your customer is there. It's a mistake many organizations do. They take the customers when they do the problem discovery, but when they do the solution discovery, they don't take customers, the same set of customers. That's a mistake. Okay, and that's why every year you will find there was a report by, I think, Amplitude, or it was Amplitude, that more than $30 billion gets wasted creating those features which your customers don't use. Customers only use 20% of your product features. 80% get wasted because we don't apply design thinking rightly. Now I will take a stop, and Mohan, this was your question. I hope that that got answered, right?
Yes, madam. Nearly. Actually, the way I was thinking was like, I was getting a little hard to conceive this design thinking. Like, is it start from the customer discovery or the problem discovery, or is it just starts from the time when you start implementing the product?
No, it starts right from the problem discovery, right
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once you have started the first diamond, you have to go through the second diamond. Many people eliminate the second diamond totally, and that is not design thinking.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am,
Now,
I have another
any other question?
question.
Go ahead. Yes.
Ma'am, in the second diamond, develop test, right? So is it actually like actual development of MVP and showing to the customer, or like a prototype, like POC kind of, or is just a kind of a Figma or a design user journey? What is the actual output of that second diamond?
Yeah.
First part.
First part. So what you are doing is, based on the solution that you have listed, you are going to evaluate those solutions, testing those solutions.
That's what. How to test?
Two
Are we going
experiments.
to build?
We will
Are
do
we going to build
experiments.
something?
No, you
I
will
mean,
not build it. So I will show you when I use
POC.
shorter loop. I will show you the entire discovery with the experiments, how you do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because whatever the POC which we show to the customer and
Correct.
the actual product development, there is a lot of gaps.
Correct.
So the customer like the POC, but the end product, the turning rate is, I mean, it is not as expected as the POC. So that was one of our observation we had faced. That's what I'm
So
just.
in the POC stage, what you are doing, you have done the experiment, right? And while you have done
It is not like experiment. We actually have this user journey created, means in the design phase, like how the UX UI, that, and the customers actually like it, and we'll go ahead and we'll do some small MVP in 2 sprints, shorter sprint, and deliver. And the customer really likes, and we end up like after 8-9 sprint. But the feedback what we received from the POC, it was a lot of gaps. So they like the POC.
Yeah. So they like the POC, that is your design based POC. But when you created that, those two MVPs, right? Did you also go back to your customer and show that MVP, that based on this design, we created the MVP, and what is your feedback?
Yes, yes, yeah. But there are lots of new things. Maybe something are like a new scope added, but
Yeah, so
something
that is
the
the
initial.
agile product
Uh,
life cycle management, because your customers requirement will keep coming, right?
yeah,
And we will also learn what is agile, what is linear way of software development life cycle. The people who are engineers, you already know it. But SDLC is one step at a time. First I gather the problem, then I create a requirement, the requirement gathering template, then based on that I create the prototype. But in today's world it doesn't work like that. The moment you are gathering the problem, you are also doing the discovery, you are also doing the experiments, you are also creating the MVP, and then based on the MVP you are also creating the actual prototype. And then this time also customer requirements keep coming, new. But there, this is where a project manager job should be there along with the product manager, that in this sprint, based on your previous feedback and the POC that you have given the feedback, we have prioritized these are the two feature based MVP. We will first complete this. And if again, when you get those requirements from customer, there is a quadrant that we use, effort versus impact. We'll also use this in shorter loop where I show you how do you create a better strategy, right? So the one that is low on effort and high on impact, and if that can be accommodated in your current cycle of MVP, do take such requirements for customer. But for that you should also tell that uh, because we are taking these two additional things, the timeline will be increased by 2 weeks or
yeah,
3 weeks. Give that expectation everywhere. You have to bring the customer so that there is no scope at the end that, oh, it is a total surprise that what you have shown and what is there is a total gap
yeah.
you are saying.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a lot of interest in POC, but when it comes to the actual product, there is a lot of gap. They perceive it in another way, or I can
Exactly.
say.
So you need to also educate many people. See, customers are not the software people, right? They are just
Yeah,
using the product because they want to solve their problem. You need to also tell them that this is the technology and methodology we use, so that the customer is fully transparent. How are we developing the product? And they know what
okay.
is possible and not. It is see, that's why I'm saying communication is a very very important aspect of any product design, anything that you do. If we are not telling the customer this is the methodology, this is the step by step, these are the experiments we got, you are bringing customer also as a positive champion along with you, so that he knows and he cannot tell at the end of the day, that this is not at all as per my expectation. So every week, make an effort, give a small newsletter or talk to the customer. You have told this is where I am. Not all bad things you need to talk to the customer. Even for good things also, you should talk to the customer that how are you progressing.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see Mahant had a raised hand and then, yeah, Mahant, you go ahead.
Madam, I think this is something actually good that Sindhuja brought this up because even I have experienced this in my previous company where, as you rightly said, that the customer who gives us the requirement actually they don't have the in-depth or they don't have the complete big picture of what actually they are expecting also. When we try to give them something, as a prototype or MVP, they use those features, they liked it, oh please go ahead, they give a signal. But as we start developing the features, as we go on with that, the requirements keep changing from their side because they didn't have the big picture when they actually showed the POC or MVP or when we piloted it out. So sometimes it's also very difficult to get the complete insights or getting into the depth because when we try to probe a little bit more, customer take it as an offense because they start feeling that we are hurting their ego. So
Okay.
how do we
I get you. So, this is where the having that relationship with the customer, how you will. So if you ask this question, the why part of it, and suddenly it may not, but if you meet the customer, it's all about human, right? You go meet them in office, go with your development team also, this is the way you build the rapport, and tell them that, okay, just thought of we were here for other customer meeting, just thought of dropping by to your office. And just wanted to give you a quick update. It's a quick 10 minutes. You set up a 10 minutes meeting with the customer before you go, so that it is because he or she will be equally busy, and you are just going. So it is just that tell them that I just wanted to have a clear communication, because having the in-person meeting is best. And say that this was the problem. Have 2 or 3 slides, not more than that. But if you can just talk it out without going through your slide, don't make it too formal, but make it informal. But you have also communicated effectively what was the clear intention. Say that thanks again for giving us this practical feedback. We have done this analysis on our own. We have not just meet you, but we have met all our customers. And based on this, these are the areas that we have identified. I want to do a quick experiments with you, and that's why I'm here. And these are the 2 questions that I have seen that based on the 2 experiments, you can ask the question and then let him give the answer. If he doesn't have the time, or you say that, okay, I will send you the online experiment. It just take quick 5 minutes. Or if you have that time while you are talking, if you can just ask him, just please go through this and give me the feedback. That's an effective way of doing it. But if the customer wants to avoid it, sometimes some customers are also not clear and they just give the feedback for the sake of feedback. A product manager should be able to identify that what is a real feedback, what is a not real feedback. Because everyone think everything that you do, it's a behavior based, right? So you should also be able to understand that this customer is not a genuine customer. Okay, he just wanted to give a feedback. So you can eliminate those outliers and identify those people who are the serious about, because if you are not willing to see what the experiments or what the thing that I am developing, and if you are not partnering with me, then don't blame me. Right? Because see, I have given you all the opportunity. It is always two-way, right? Nothing is one way, so this is where the collaborative thing comes. So you should take that thing first, book a meeting, 10 minutes meeting, go and meet if possible in the same city, so that it also shows the rapport building effort. Then give them a 3 clear sentence. Thank you so much for your feedback. These are our identification. This is the experiment we are doing, and I want you to be part of our experiment. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Give them a goodie, maybe something, a diary or something, whatever, which is a low cost thing. And say that, can I also take you in one of your testimonial because you have given the feedback. Everyone looks for some unspoken gifts when you are buying their time, right? Because it makes the person feel good. It's a human, right? Always remember the human element first. And that's why I keep talking about the empathy. Most of today's leaders don't have the empathy. They are just doing things because they have to chase their metrics. They have to focus on their KPI. They have to get good appraisal in it. But what is it that you are actually chasing? You are chasing your customer empathy. That is the very important part. We become so internalized and we don't get this external thing. Once you give them, and that it kind of calms them down, and that person will be really inclined when you want to meet him again. And then when you have done the experiments and you got the result, you should again either communicate on email or just a quick call or a WhatsApp thing. Hey, thank you so much, you helped us do this experiment successfully, and this is the result. Based on this, we are doing 1 or 2 things that you want to take care in your development. Done.
Yeah,
Your
understood.
thing is you communicated. Now, whether he has not responded, that is not your fault. You have given them all the channels you have used. And you document it. Very important. Product managers sometimes, because of they wear so many hats, they forget to document some of the things. Very important, you document it. And keep everything in one place so that sales is getting the visibility, marketing is getting the visibility, support is getting the visibility, and your best friend is your engineering team. Your best friend is your data science team. Have everything available to everyone. No one can say, oh, I didn't see the document. That kind of question will never arise if you put every documentation in a center place. So lot of ego massaging has to happen. So that's why I say PM job is equally challenging but equally fun to do. It teaches you so many abilities. How do you really, crack it? Okay, so that is the key thing. Now, let me go to the next slide. So what are the important guidelines? I am really focusing on this so that it is there in your brain. You keep a space in your brain that design thinking I have to do in my current organization, either in a small way, but I need to get started right from today. First, any challenge where you can apply. Second, it is a creative brainstorming. It's not your own belief. I keep telling that PMs often lack of their time. They think, okay, this is my research. These are the external statistics I got. This is what I did a kind of a quick survey with my customer, and this is what I have identified. It is not you. It is the other teams who has to come along with you. So always create a tiger team. If you are doing a research, bring the marketing one person, bring the design one person, bring the your engineering one person, bring the sales people, bring the support people. The moment you are bringing, and it is a creative collaborative brainstorming, you take them also, when let them shadow you when you are doing the interview, so that they also learn. That's very important. Always PM thinks, because of lack of thing, that okay, I have done, I have to present this to my thing, I need to get approval so that I get started immediately the development with my development team. They don't do sometimes experimentation. That is another big blunder the PM does. So, but it is not that. So that's why I'm telling, please do a creative brainstorming, have your customers, have other employees. Who is the sponsor for the project? Your manager has to give you the buy-in. Your manager should also be invited as an optional, but send the recording of the interview to him or her. This is just to send you that this is the quick interview I have done. These are the crux of the finding. So as a PM, job is the best communication job. You are making sure all the parties are informed and they are with you at the same time. Then the third part, center the process, keeping that empathy. You are a human being, so it is first customer first, then it's me second, and then understand all the problems. Don't discount any problems when you are going broad. And as I said, that it is nothing personal, right? Everything has a business reason. Don't bring your ego. Don't think that, okay, because this customer did not, behave with me rightly. That's why, he is showing or she is showing all frustration. Maybe the similar thing with one of your other cross-functional team. Don't go. It is a typical practical way of looking at the problem, identifying all the problem areas, and then finally deep dive and narrowing it to the one or two problems that you can take, and then create the vision statement with those one or two problems. So any idea is welcome. Don't get personal. Then the fourth one is, you need to have right way of doing the prototyping, but before that you need to create your experimentation. So as I said, the test, the last but one point, the test is very important. If you are not doing the test and you are directly going to the build and then you are doing the repeat, you are doing a big problem. And then the last thing is, any company today, Intuit is very good. They are the ones who actually coined the design thinking into practice. And when I was in Intuit, you won't believe me, in my first week, we were coming up with Intuit QuickBook Accountant launch. In my first week, I made 85 customers on road, on flight, around 50 to 60. And then 25 I met over phone and the online survey. Why? Because they say A for A. A for A is a process that Intuit follow, and that is a typical design thing. Everything starts and ends with the customer. Even the CEO will ask, CEO also does this, going out, meeting the customer. Every department goes out, meet the customer, and they get this design thinking. Until and unless you are understanding how the customers use, how the customer thinks, you cannot create an effective solution. So it is their KPI, everybody. So in your own organization, if design thinking is not in other people's KPI, please have a very healthy discussion. Show what is the design thinking. Take a small experiment and say that by design thinking, we have been better in identifying the problem. We have been better in identifying the right solution, right? And then have that, you need to have a sponsor. You need to go into those, not just a CPO, but also the CEO. The CPO should talk to the CEO. CPO here is a Chief Product Officer, should talk to the CEO and say that this should be everyone's metrics. When I worked in Tally Solution, when I worked in Intuit, when I worked in Ericsson, I made it very clear, if these common external metrics are not in everybody's KRA, then the entire objective, how much money, how much effort we are putting, it will all get, it will get wasted. And we typically put that in everyone's KRA. So identify the right people, sensitize them, do a small experiment, share the results, talk to your super boss, and that super boss should talk to the CXO and get this KRA in everyone. Then only, if it is not top down, things will not happen. Okay, so this is very, very important part of it. And as I said, that the people who have done design thinking, any big company today, you take Slack, you take IBM, you take Apple, you take anyone, Intuit I already talked about, they are all using design thinking. Okay, now I think, yeah, I covered this. So let's go through these 5 stages. I just want you to remember these 5 stages: EDIPT. The simple way to remember is E for empathize, D for define, I for ideate, P for prototype, and T for test. Test is very important. EDIPT. Whatever you created as a prototype needs to be tested or do the experimentation again and again. Okay, so now I will get into the each stage in details, and please ask me questions if you are not clear of any of the stages. Okay, so the first stage is empathize. How will you get the empathy? Until and unless you go and talk to the customer, you will not understand, and you need to feel with them, have the emotions. Most of the technical people are not having the emotions, right? And that's bad. Your technical skills can take you to some extent, but if you are not an empathetic leader, you cannot really go to the next curve or next career curve of your own leader. You need to be empathetic, right? A very good example in today's leadership, if you remember two people, one is Satya Nadella and the second person is Obama. There are two good examples, and even PM Modi, very, very empathetic. So if you are not empathetic, this is one human skill that gets noticed, and people start taking you in your good book. When you talk, people listen, people come along, people forge teams, forge ideas together, create something big. So now these are the different techniques that we do in empathize. One is definitely the user interviews. I will always prefer if you can go and meet in person some of these customers, that give you an eye opener. Believe me, whenever I am with the customer, every time I learn something new, and I make my diary, and I have my digital diary, and I have my notes. Those notes also summarize and tell me what are the key meetings from everything that is coming up. So have that habits of writing, digitally writing, so that it can also give you the insights. So do these user interviews. If possible, do in person. If not possible, do a blending of both online and in person. Other thing is surveys, but the surveys don't give you always a good response. So as I think Jyotsna, you are telling, you call them, right? So if they respond to your call, it's well and good. Otherwise, identify some other way of incentivizing. So if you are responding to my survey, you get a $50 Amazon gift card or something, like you get dispatch them. The other day I was like responding to one of the Harvard Research Council survey, and they sent it to me, a very nice what you call hologram, and I didn't expect that. So when people are not expecting in return, but only has the giving attitude, and you get something as a surprise, people will remember those experience very bigly, right? So this is very important. So have the surveys. Observation is like how the customer is using without you guiding it. There is a guided way of identifying your discovery. There is an unguided approach, right? Focus on the unguided. Is the customer able to spot the button at the right instance, or after I doing some guided technique, then the person found it out, right? And then when the customer says something, and let's say it is getting diverted, right? Your main motto is to gather what is the main problem, but the customer is telling, there are some people, right, when they start talking, they don't stop. How do you ensure that you bring them back to the alignment, the track? So this is where you say that I understand where you are coming from. However, we are running out of time, and I also have a few other meetings. So could you tell me this, and this is where you intervene and you bring them on the track, and then you quickly say that you are time bound, you have a flight to catch, or you have another customer meeting, whatever. Bring them back, get the right insight, and then come out. So this is what, as I said, that these two people, Airbnb guys, they actually took their own camera to started photographing the host homes to better understand and improve the user experience. So the clarity of the photo, what are the amenities that the people can see, and then finally they select that particular home. Okay, now when you are doing the user interview, there is a template that we follow. The questions that we create that needs to have a very, very important thing. Start with an open thing. Tell me, always before you ask your pointed question, start with those 5 W's. 5 W's is, tell me when you did it. What was the last time you have seen this? How was your experience? What made you to think this way? More open-ended questions so that you gather a lot of insights. And when you use this AI-based this engine and you put all these comments, AI is smart enough. Today's AI are real smart enough. They will tell you this is the actual problem. This is what the affinity or the customer has, and these are the actual solution. That AI will also give you a recommendation engine. Second thing, product specific question. We have recently come up with this particular feature. Did you use that? If you have not used, why? See, he or she may say that I have not seen it. Then you say that, can you open and can you tell me, you may guide where you have found that. This is also another thing for the UI UX designer. If he or she is coming along with you, they did not see the button in the first place, or they did not see the module in the first place. AI UI UX designer should make it first place as soon as they log in. There should be an in-app announcement or in-app notification or a kind of dialog box that, hey, we have hooray, we have identified this new feature, thank you so much. Tons of feedback. Make it more the way you talk to your friends or family, like little bit of Gen Z language, not very informal, but yeah, semi-formal, semi-informal. So product specific questions, ask need-based question, when the customer is using your feature but not able to do the outcome that you are really looking for. So then you ask them that what are the frustration when you use this solution. Sometimes, many of the time when I interview some of my customers, I have identified that in Oracle and Ericsson, and I typically, so in what we are doing is Ericsson, I'll give you this little story that will help you to remember this particular thing that we are learning. So we went to Latin America. They have, of course, they don't speak English. I had a major hiccup in, making them understand. And I had my other friend who is from Brazil. And so we were in Brazil, and this guy was talking in Portuguese, my colleague. And I was like using Duolingo app to translate that, what it means. And then I was feeding my colleague these questions that please ask this question to your customer, which was there anyway. But what question to ask when, that is also an art. How do you wrap up some additional questions with your main question? Some of these are leading questions, right? If the customer has not answered. So he got frustrated because the Ericsson has created a, how do I say, it's like a Netflix kind of app we created. That was time 2014, and it was launched in Africa and Brazil because those were our less important market segment, but those kind of solutions never existed. So we use blue ocean thinking. Blue ocean thinking means where your competitors not there, that's your first chance to be in those places, capture the market by doing something new. So we showed the tool, but it was not very user, the UI UX was not that great, but it was doing the basic job right. It helps you to identify the movies based on your genre, and then it will show you those movies, it will show you those shows, the TV shows. And no one knew, Ericsson being a telecom provider, no one knew that Ericsson has this kind of app. And it so we gave the name as New View, and we wanted to understand that how the experience now that we have launched it. So this guy he showed us the tool. First of all, it was in English. We have not localized it in their language, so that was definitely a barrier. The second thing, he told that, look, even though I understand what button is for. When I click on this, one button was not at all, how many times he hit the button, it was not firing the next screen. So that is again a big flaw in the design. But it was a very shameful experience. We are coming from such a big company, and these are the silly mistakes we have done. Why didn't we test it out before we launch it? A lot of questions. But my UI UX guy was not there. It was me from product and marketing side of it, and the other guy was from the sales side of it. So we narrated, we understood everything. Immediately we had a call with the UI UX designer. We sent them the pictures. They within a few hours they rectified the problem, and then we send the thing to the customer. Can you please try? So this was his biggest frustration, that why I have to tell you when you can find it things on your own, right? So this is where the silly thing that we often look out, oh, this should work obviously, but if that doesn't work, it becomes a point of annoying thing, right? And then the last one is this product aspirational for you? Is it a need based? Is it something that, okay, you love using the app, but you are not a frequent? How can I ensure that you frequently get inside the app, right? What are the other areas you think the product can help you? And this is where you gather the idea. Okay, let's say his main need is to watching the movies, but his also other needs are, how do I have a better family time when I'm using the app? So can I also get those family movies? Can I also ensure that everyone having a every day, every Sunday, there is a 2 hours of family movie time, and this app is helping me to identify the right movie. So he has not spoken. This is an unspoken, but this is an aspirational, motivational, inspirational. This is where I am going to use every Sunday this app. This is something no one had asked you to, but you thought as a sweetener. And also ask what are the things that we can improve. Sometimes they have answers, sometimes they don't have answer. AI and your human thinking should tell you, is it a real answer to this problem? If not, just ignore, right? Always remember, when you get the feedback is the other person's lens. Everything you need not to take it. You are understanding the crux of it, and then take what is really can be implemented, right? And the few things you can get discounted. So the tips for the user interviews is, what is the goal of the interview? For me, my goal was, I have launched the app. I wanted to take their early interaction or early feedback. Recruit the right participants. Have those people who are regularly going to your app. Could be in different region, could be in different language. How many times they are using? Are they using more than the 2 features? So recruit the right participants. Develop a structured interview guide. So you will have, when you open up the survey questions, and if you are doing it yourself, you need to have a context, that this is a app was launched 2 months back. We are in the midway collecting the feedback across all the regions. You are one of the valued customers, where we see that you are using the app, and thank you so much. And this is our time to understand and sit with you how we can improve the product, how we can give you a better experience. And this is where we are going to ask you a quick 20-minute questions. Some of the questions will be open-ended, and some of those will be objective, and we want your genuine answers. And if you can also show, sometimes in some question you may have to open the app and also show us how do we use, that will. So bring the person in alignment with what you need. Every meeting, I have some outcome that I want to fulfill for myself, right? I don't want my meeting to be hijacked by the customers or by my colleague, because here I am in the driving seat. So what is that you want? Develop a structured interview guide. Tell them what is the expectation, what is the objective, what kind of questions will be there. Some questions also require the product interaction. The more you are clear, and the guiding questions, if you have a piggyback question on the top main question, you also need not to show that to the customer, but it is in your mind. You know what are the questions to ask, leading question we say, or we say guiding question, to get consistent data collection. Be a good listener. When someone is giving you an input, don't interrupt. Listen till the full stop. Then ask that, okay, I understand you said this. Could you please elaborate? Or what do you mean by this? These are the guiding questions, right? because you didn't get a consistent data collection in the previous section. Now take detailed notes. As I told, journalism is very important. It gives you actually look for the observation. You also learn what are the frustration, what are the aha moments, and what are the verbal and the non-verbal cues. Right? When you do the video conferencing, when you are doing the in-person, you get the non-verbal cues. But sometimes it is not possible in other ways of doing it. So take a kind of a gaze, and then the gaze should be calculative gaze, and then analyze your findings through AI or your data AI ML, your own technique of doing analysis, all those Excel formulas and the charts. Identify what are the common patterns, common themes, and the insights to inform the design decision. So far we are clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I know it's 10:30. I will, there are few more steps. So shall we stop here today and you guys ponder upon this empathize part of it, because this is the key thing. If this stage goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Okay, you guys ponder upon it, and I will just quickly use shorter loop, and I'll show you the double diamond thing that I have promised today that I'll show you. So just give me a minute. Okay, for product discovery, there is no better tool other than shorter loop. This is my insights after I evaluated at least 10 tools. Some are free, some are paid, but you can also do your own analysis and tell me. But the way it has been identified and it actually uses the double diamond technique, I didn't find it in any other tool. I'm not boasting it because I'm no longer associated with shorter loop. I don't have any bias, but typically based on a PM mindset, it makes my job easy when I do this. Now,
Dipta,
so
just one question.
sure, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I was trying logging into Shorter Loop yesterday to, check what we did, but I could not do it. So, is it specifically that you had work there, you could do it, or do we need any specific subscription or something?
No, it's a simple way. You just go.
Actually, it asks for company email. That is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, it
you
was
need to
asking for
use
the
your
company.
company email. Yes, 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 definitely.
So that would not be an issue, right? Because we will not be getting any notification from Shorter Loop in our company email, right?
No, that is not an issue. Shorter loop doesn't bug you with their notification and all, because we are very mindful about
Yeah, I
customer.
mean, I could not log in from a personal email address,
Yeah,
and
it will
I
not
did not
allow you
try the
to.
official one.
So try the official one, or if you are from some university and you have those university email, like I use my IIM email ID, right? Or I am faculty in few of the other, so I use those university. I sometimes use my own shorter loop email ID because I teach the tool. So use company email. Even if you go to Gartner site, if you go to other site, people don't want to have who are not having their business email, because that's the way we identify who are serious, who are not serious. So that's why we only take the business email. Previously, when we were using all the personal emails also, we used to get so much of junk, so much of spam email IDs, and that's why we came up with this business email. So use that, and then you should be able to go through it. Okay, now I will show you the key thing. So let's say I am in the agritech India. This is one of the product that has been created. Let me go to the product vision. So the just to tell you what is AgriTech India is, it's a platform where farmers can come and put their products and without having any middleman. And on the other side, the people who have created the platform, they are selling farmers' products and they're giving the commission back directly to the farmers. So the liquidity is fast. They get the right value of their product, and it's a marketplace. So these farmers, maybe they are from Punjab or they are from north of Karnataka or Maharashtra or wherever they are, but they get to see their buyers all over India. And this is where they are able to maximize their profit, and it is also sustainable because all the organic product goes through rigorous scrutiny and things like that. Now, what I did is yesterday, When we are doing the product vision, this is the canvas that we use, right? When you put your problems with or without AI, you are actually sharpening your problem into a vision statement. You are actually using the first diamond where you identified all the problems that you have listed. And then based on those listed problems, you identified which are the two problems that you are going to take. How do you identify which are the two problems that you are going to take? Based on the pattern, of course. So in your Excel sheet, let's say, or in your, if you are using a Typeform, or if you are using Zoho form, whichever the CRM, if you are using Salesforce or HubSpot, you have that form, right? So through that, you did all your interviews, collated in one place. And then when you are, it will automatically, if you are using Google Forms also, Google automatically gives you the response of those questions, and it also creates a chart. So through that, you identify what are the key problems. So if you are drawing a pie chart about all your problems and their percentage, you will find the top two problems that you want to tackle it first. And based on those top two problems, when you write the vision statement, you get a final statement with the help of the AI. So this is where you are using the first diamond, going big on the problem, broad on the problem, and then narrowing down to those one or two problems that you are defining. The problem definition means the vision statement in shorter loops language. Now, based on that, you identify the target group. All these things we have done yesterday. Now, the next step of this is that after identifying the problem statement, what are the solution that is available? Now, yesterday we stopped here, and let's say I am, so let me use the tool. Did I save yesterday? I created an app, right? Which was that? Quick Commerce B2C, right? We used. Okay. So this was my thing, right? Now, what I did when I created the target group, I have not linked. Now, this is where yesterday we left off from here. Now, I'm picking it up from exactly where we left off. So, I am now linking things. The tool is telling me, see, you have created your first persona. The moment I linked the problem statement for this quick commerce, who are my first customer segment? One is the festive buyers. It is then asking me, capture insights and define value. Make the most out of your persona. So these are the sub-segments. I need to draw my persona really well, organize them and manage into segments. And then if I go to the last one, how I am going to create that opportunity based on the problem that I've identified. This is the most important part when you using the second diamond, the first part of the second diamond, when you are listing those solutions. Before you list the solution, based on the problems you identified, what are the various opportunities? So for example, Delhi to Agra, you can go in different ways. What is your problem statement? My problem statement is I go from Delhi to Agra using the most optimal route of transportation and also being low on my budget, right? So this is my vision statement. What are the avenues? How you can go to Delhi to Agra? Let's say there is a flight option, there is a bus option, there is a what you call the tempo traveler that takes the people as a group share option. Maybe it's a your friend's car, you don't go with any, you can do Ola, Uber. So these are all your options, these are all your opportunities, and you list out these opportunities one after another. And then what are those opportunities that you will test out? Remember the last one, the test. Now you, let's say, and you have for all the solution, when you have listed out, you know what is the price, what is the time, by when you have to reach, all of this. So you calculated based on these 8 or 10 solutions or the opportunities, these 2 or 3 solutions are near about your goal. That means I need to reach in 2.5 hours from Delhi to Agra. I can only spend 2,000 rupees. I'm not going to stay in a hotel. I'll go in the morning, I'll come back in the evening back to Delhi. So this is my optimal budget, and you found there are 2 things. One is that Ola thing, and the other one is, let's say, your friend thing. Because if you are going with a group buy, or because you need to wait for the other group people to come along with you at the same time, right? So why to take all these complexities? Let's take these 2 simple solutions. Now you are experimenting. Experimenting is not other than testing. So it is what you are doing. See, develop strong value proposition and push them into the opportunity backlog for execution. Try now. So what I am going to do is, first let's close this. So it has tell me that create the persona very nice and sharp. Second thing is, based on that, you identify what are your persona's needs and identify the value proposition, save them as an opportunity, and then you get into the product strategy box. If you have your own persona related attachment, your survey interviews, PDF, scripts, Excel sheet, please add those attachments so that AI can do a better job based on all the data that you have given and tell you what are the needs, what are the problems and everything, and then you test it out. So I now close this button. I have learned what this persona will do. Now let's go to the persona. So it will open this canvas for me. You see on top, there are three things. The persona canvas, where you will be as clear, if you, the way you know your family member, the same way you should know your customer. If you have not identified all these aspects as a PM, it is your due diligence. Sit with all those teams. Um, you may have some hypothetical assumption if you have not met the customer, but you may at least need to talk to few of the customers to understand if this persona will exist, this customer segment exists. So this is why you also have an experiment by getting the persona right. But for now, you are starting with the bio. So let's say the festive buyers. What the festive buyers? Festive buyers are those who buy when there is a impulse, not on impulse, there is a trigger is there is a festive season, therefore I need to buy and give some gifting to my families and friends. So it is, you can write on your own, just for the time sake I'm using AI thing. Okay. And AI will give you that, okay, if you have given the name, AI can take the name and tell you. So these people are look for new trends and styles. They have a lot of enthusiasm. They are deeply rooted their religious values, their community. They really love the celebrating together in harmony. All of this. So they love bright colors and all of this. So you can think, what is the motivation to them? These buyers, what kind of, for us, there must be one thing that inspires us, right? So here for this buyer, the quote is, I need something that will make this holiday special, and also it will be unforgettable for not just me but also for my loved ones. So what it means, the festive buyers, as I said, that we want to gift and we also want to wear something nice, right? We are on the top of the festive mood. So now here you give all your demographic details of that buyer. You can create a segment that, let's say, based on the data that you have on these buyers. So let's say I put the segment here is, it's a frequent buyer, right? You can create, add the value. Okay, create another one. So let's say inactive buyer. Okay. So you add the value. Okay, and then last one, let's say churn. Okay, churn by something like that. And then you save this. When you save this, you will find these values. So select the, let's say I select the frequent buyer. Okay. Similarly, you can create other fields. You can put some demographic things like their income, which region, which city, how many, if you know some descriptive fields, that some notes and other things, you can create the notes here. If you have interviewed, your internal team also about these festive buyers, you can actually note down those meetings here. So everything remains in the canvas, and you can actually give, identify and, add your team, your development team, sales team, marketing team, support team. So everybody can help you create a better persona, or whatever the persona you have created, you share with others and they help you to refine. So now you created. Now the first thing first, we learn what is jobs to be done. Jobs to be done means, by using this app, what is that one or two job festive buyers are trying to do? What is their functional need? What is their emotional need? And what is their social need? I need to look good. emotional. I need to have that festive mood on, because this clothing is very much in alignment with my emotion. Functional need, I what is the functional need? The functional need is that today it is Navratri, the first day. I should wear yellow, so you should find some yellow clothing from there, something, this is your functional need. So you need to first create the jobs to be done, come there, and AI will give you. So what are the jobs to be done? I can quickly purchase. I don't have to go to a store, and I can save my commuting time. I can access the exclusive opportunities and the discounts that is there along with the new arrival. It will give me a seamless shopping experience from choosing my clothing to checking out. Order size effortlessly. It may expand, because while I'm checking out, I get, okay, these are the accessories. These are the available for the kiddos. These are the other things that is available for your wives, your mom, your father, your friends. You can think, and you can definitely make your order size big. Engage in instant purchases to save time during busy season, right? So these are the things. Now, once you have done this, identify the needs. Similarly, identify the pains, gains, and the potential opportunities. Okay, and you need to feel this. I have not filled it, so it is not, and everything will get automatically saved. Okay, so add a few jobs to be done before you add needs. So, okay, what it is inculcating is that AI has given you something, but you should also add some more on your own, right? Based on the goals of this persona canvas. What could be the other goal of the festive buyers? It could be, some of the people also do a lot for the society. So, right, gifting clothes to the needy people by actively working with the NGOs, for example, right? Or something like that, right? So you do that, and then you will find. So it is asking you, AI input is not good always. You need to have your own input, and then based on that, identify the needs. Look here, what is very important, all your interviews that you have done, and you have these interviews in Excel or Word, please go ahead and attach this. Then again, you click on this and it will get refreshed. It will get refreshed. This will get refreshed. This will get refreshed, and this will also get. We were talking about after identifying the problem and going to the persona. Based on the persona's problems, needs, and pains, how do I identify the opportunities? So I have already identified the needs. Based on their jobs to be done, I identified they want a efficient ordering app. They want a seamless experience. They want fast payment options. And they also want to NGO, if there are some NGO tracker where they want to gift, if that is also an unspoken need, but I have given this. So you can also do that. And then based on that, what are their pains? And long delivery time, limited product availability, frustration with slow app performance. Load testing is very important. How many people at a time can use the app? And then why I will use this app? What is the gain? What are my other than my needs, of course. So I can access, seamless shopping experience, access the festive discount. Maybe I don't get to see when I go to one store. I don't get to see all the discount, but because here there are so many other company and the brands are there, I can see all the discounts. So that is what my gain. In one place, I'm getting everything, right? And then based on this, you identify the opportunities. Look, I'm using AI everywhere, but for you, don't use always AI. If you are using AI, please also think through and put your human thing. Now, here you get the potential opportunities. Until and unless you save these opportunities, what are the opportunities? These opportunities is coming based on all these four things. See, it is working in a linear fashion. First, JTBD, jobs to be done, then needs, then pains, then gains, then your potential of the unique value your product or service offers to meet the customer needs, solve their problems, and deliver desired gains. For example, affordable project management tool, instant customer support, cost-effective maintenance solution. So here, based on all these things, you definitely understand your app has to be super duper good so that their quick shopping experience is a seamless, right? So you save this as an opportunity. The moment you save this as an opportunity, you getting from the discovery stage to a product strategy stage. And here, based on the objective, which was your vision, You have identified an opportunity which is tied to a specific customer persona. Based on these opportunities, you are identifying the solution, the second diamond, where you are going bigger on the solutions. Then you are experimenting those solutions. Based on the experiment solution, you are going narrow on your second diamond and identifying which are the one or two solutions you will use in your MVP. Am I clear how the theory is making into practical solution?
Yes.
I stop here because it has a lot to do, and if I give you too many things, it will bombard you. But at least create the persona today's exercise, and also fine tune your product vision by knowing how design thinking works. Okay, create one or two persona by linking from the product vision, and come and at least do this in the next class next week Saturday when we start at 7:30. I'll complete this section. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So go take rest. It's your weekend. Don't do only product management because then you don't get your innovative thinking. Go, some way to rest and rejuvenate, and then we meet on the next class, our next
Sure.
class. Okay. Okay, guys, take care and have fun. See you next week. Bye bye.
Ma'am,
I just
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
sorry.
Mahan, go ahead. We can talk on this, or you can call me and we can talk. Whatever you feel.
Okay, ma'am, but I don't have your number.
Oh, okay. Look, sorry. If I have not given you guys my number, it's my thing. You
Please
all
give on
can.
the chat platform, Sudipta.
Yeah, I'm giving it on the chat platform, and sometimes I don't check my personal email. But if you use my number, which is also my WhatsApp number, I will say, Kavya, if you are there, EduinX guys are not there. Okay, no problem. If they can create a group, that would be best.
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about the same, ma'am. I was just thinking of doing
Yeah.
that
So,
right away.
yeah, if some of you can take the initiative, you know each other's number, just create the group.
Yeah,
And
I do have everyone's number except
perfect.
Vishnu and Sindhuja, I think.
Okay, so guys, just give your numbers and Mahant, yeah, go ahead and create that. And
I'll do
mention it is a batch one EduinX product management team. So yeah, we'll remember. Okay.
sure.
Yep.
Okay, I also need to tell you, I think by next week you will find some new people are joining. So we will take some quick 15 minutes to recap the session. Okay.
Right.
And yeah, and this will also help you to, revive your memories. So yeah, just that. Yeah.
Yeah.
one question actually,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Vishnu.
I think you told us that you will be not there from June 20, right?
June 24th. So next week also we will have 6-hour classes. Okay. And when I'm not there, June 24th week is taken care of because 28 and 29, those 2 days class, we are doing it in this weekend and also the next weekend by going extra 4 hours, right? So,
Got it.
so that would be done. I will then give you also assignment. Remember, next week you will have 3 or 4 more assignments when we go through our complete classes on 21st and 22nd. Use on 5th and 6th of June those assignments and complete it.
Okay.
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 You need to do your self-reading. You need to do your assignments, do additional. I will tell you some of the books to understand design thinking. If you guys can buy those books, would be really good. There is a book called Hooked. I can write it. And this is very good when it comes to design thinking. I have also written a LinkedIn article, I guess, or on Shorter Look, you will find the top books for product management, shorterlook.com. And there are some good books on design thinking. I may also show this to you. So just give me a minute. Let me find that article and show it to you guys also. Mm. Also, you guys can read some of the things that I have written on my own. The PLG part of it, which we will read anyway. We will learn what is PLG, what is sales-led growth, product-led growth, and things like that. But you will find, lot of good books. Let me do. I don't like this Microsoft Edge. It doesn't research well and search things well. I better find this. Yeah, best product management books for 2024. So we talked about agile, right? So read this Lean Startup, very good book. Okay. See, there is a smart way of reading books also. We all are short of time. If you have Kindle and if you have Audible, you can ask Kindle to summarize for you, and then only go to those section and read those section of the book so that you get the crux of it. Okay. So see, testing ideas. It is actually the crux of design thinking. Start small, take one or two features, right? Then learning from the real data. Then quick cycles of learning. Design thinking is all about repetitive, iterative. Remember? So this is where design thinking is very important. Then let's also, sorry, I went to a different section altogether. Wait. Yeah. Inspired is also a very good book. Marty Kagan has written. So this actually helps you create product that customers love, which is teaching you product discovery that is using the design thinking approach. So this one is inspired. The another one is hooked. This I will tell you. I will give you the cheat sheet of cracking the PM interview, and that will come. Lean product is also. We will learn one at a time. So many things. Don't bombard right now. Now that we are reading the design thinking, if you guys can buy any of these books, the inspired and the hooked, that would be very good. I will also, and when we are getting into the strategic thinking, this is how high technology companies think. So let me go to the.
Ma'am, may I know, like, maybe know, like, what will be the best book to start with the product
Yeah,
management?
right. Buy only one book right now that is inspired, and then there is another book I will. I want you guys to read it because I have read it, and typically you won't believe it was such a satisfying experience. Um, Hooked. Okay, so Emily McIntyre. So you can actually read this book. It is also available on Audible. So buy the hooked book. This is actually also doing the design thinking. So for a designer, marketer, startup, and it is not just one book. You should actually tell your organization, buy this book and give it to all those teams, right? So do that. So for now, either you read Inspired or either you read Hooked. These are the two books you guys must read. Okay, so let me write these books for you guys, and so one is Hooked, and the another one is Inspired. And that later we will read that the lean startup that is actually using that agile product management. You cannot do everything, but you do small things, but you do quality. So those are these two books. Let's read it out.
Okay.
Okay, cool guys. So then, yeah, telling you my timing. So 28th and 29th are all those days are already covered. Okay, 5th and 6th, I'll give you this assignment, and this assignment will come when I am taking the class for next week, 2 days. And based on that, I will give you the assignment for 5th and 6th also. Okay, so 28th and 29th classes will be already taken care of, and 5th and 6th you will have your assignment, do the assignments. And I'll also give you some video tutorials. Some of the great minds have spoken about product management, whom you should follow, like Shreyas Doshi, whom you should follow when it comes to the Disney's, the CPOs. He has his channel. Learn more about how the big people think, right? What is that one thing, what are the common mistakes, what you learn from those mistakes. So those things I will give you some video learning also. So utilize that for your 5th and 6th. And when I'm back on 12th, I will again take 3 hours classes for both days, 12th and 13th July. And we will complete, I am hoping that I'll complete by that time module 3 as well. Okay, so that's the plan. I hope this is clear, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, guys, have a wonderful weekend and see you next week then, 7:30. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Mahant has already added everyone. Let me know if I missed any. Perfect. I'm just checking
Thank you, Mahant.
my WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mahant, for doing this.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
get that invite. I'll now store this. Yeah, perfect.
Madam,
Cool.
can
Yeah,
I
guys.
call you on your number in now?
Yeah, call me, Mahant. Yeah,
Okay,
call
thank
me.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye, guys.
Just one question actually.
Yeah,
Is the
give me.
WhatsApp group created?
It is created. I
Okay.
just then yeah.
I think I'm not added in that because I have not got any notification.
Okay, can you put your number also one more
He
time?
has already done. I have invited him as well. Not
Okay.
sure why. Maybe I have not put the right number. I'll check again. I'll do that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Take
Bye.
care.